Yo, yo. Hello, chat. Yo. Yo. A tiny bit early, but we have a bunch of things to do today, so welcome. Welcome, chat. Hello. Oh, what's up, Kev? Here from the beginning, huh? Welcome. Hello. Hi, everyone. Salutations? Oh, salutations indeed, Arnaldo. What's up, guys? What's up? Okay. So, yeah, we have a bunch of things to do today, as you can see up here. But, of course, we need to start off with this. Of course, we need to start off with Gogh today. That is kind of... Oh. She's chaotic evil. Makes sense. Earth female. Oh, God. This is not gonna be easy, is it? Earth female. None of these are... Oh. And not even a 5-star? Oh, man. Boom. Ooh, I thought I had it there for a second. Okay. So it's a Buster single target. Female permanent 4-star archer. Oh, that scared me. What's Calamity Jane? She's a 4-star archer, but female, but I'm pretty sure she's limited. I think. Ooh. What's Oda Nobunaga? It could be Oda Nobunaga. Ooh. Okay. What's up? Really, Dimeses? I'm not sure why. It's our first attempt to read because we are doing notes. We're reading angel notes. I'm gonna be using this translation here, which apparently has been recommended and is apparently really good. I also have this translation here as well, which is the other one, which is probably the one that most people have read, but apparently this one is a bit better. This one does have some images though at the end, so we're gonna check those out at the end, but we're gonna read this one. It's also less of a flashbang with this one. I'm gonna move myself a bit because... Actually, I can just move the screen a bit, you know. That's fine. The next echelon society by learning to read. I got you guys. Today we're going to learn our ABCs. So, strap in, boys. Strap in. It's gonna be a wild one. So, I know nothing about notes. Apart from everyone tell me to... go and read them, especially Arnaldo. So, this is gonna be interesting. I don't know what to expect, but apparently it's very relevant to the things that we're experiencing right now in FGO and stuff like that. So, what's up, Lilipan? What's up? So, yeah, let's just jump right into notes. It's exactly on the clock as well. So, okay. I'm not gonna be paying too much attention to chat right now while I'm reading, but let's go. Wait, also, I think the audio is a bit, or the music is a bit loud for this. Let's make it just slightly ambient in the back. Okay. This is a cover note. So this is what I wrote when I was invited. That was the wrong button. Whoo, that scared me. Okay. This is what I wrote when I was invited to make an anthology comic on the topic of angels. However, the anthology wasn't text-based, and the other two were artists, so I was in trouble. What's the meaning of a novel when over half the book was pictures, especially when it's a short novel? That's how I came up with the irregular notes after my doubtfulness. I remember that I was pretty satisfied with what I came up with, considering that it was completed in a short amount of time. Although it's unpleasant to the eyes, it brings back memories when I cut and pasted what I typed out from the word processor. If I ever get a chance, I would like to make this into a real story too. I always think that when I look at the Black Barrel. Oh! Oh! Okay, I can see where some of the relevance comes from then. Okay, we're already talking about the taboos of the 7 taboos. Okay, the Black Barrel. Interesting. 0. Gogh. Prologue. The aircraft rose further up into the stratosphere. Troposphere, sorry. The sea of ash and clouds has yet to disappear. Wings of iron soared through the vast... It's a bit... I can't read it very well. Let me make it a bit bigger. And then also make it so that you guys see it. Okay. Wings of iron soared through the vast, leaden skies, embarking on a dangerous mission to eliminate the common enemy of the human species, liners. Okay. At the end of the battle, all but one of the aircrafts that had participated in the mission were destroyed. I guess I was lucky that this old piece of junk's autopilot was flying it. The AI-controlled plane was the only one that was unaffected by the influence of the enemy's body temperature. Interesting. I continued to fly by myself. The heartbeats resounding throughout the machine were, as one would expect, my own. I opened the hangar with my gun at the ready. The air flowing into the aircraft was freezing, burning my lungs. With the plane's internal air temperature reaching below 0, the coat I wore showed minimal effect against it. The effect of freezing cold was at a critical point, barely maintaining the survival of organic life. This aircraft, which had only been intended for the transportation of flight-capable species, wasn't equipped with weaponry like sniping equipment. If I wanted to fight in this war, I had to risk cutting my life short. Oh, flight-capable species. Okay. Intense cold and rampaging winds. The corpses of my comrades laid behind me, spinal fluid overflowing from their noses and ears. As this was an old plane, there was no way of predicting how long it would continue to fly. The state of affairs was so absolutely bleak that I felt like singing out loud. With a Black Barrel that I modified for sniping at the ready, I did nothing but wait, for the moment my enemy would come into range of my scope. For the very moment I could pull the trigger and be at ease. 7 days had been piling up onto the in-flight clock. Of course, it's always 7. Yet only 7 days have passed. My paralyzed brain felt like I could continue staying like this for another month, or maybe another year. My body was constantly on the brink of death. I wonder how much time it had passed, my consciousness, my language, my very self. Just when I finished losing all of it, I recollected everything back. My gun's sight caught the enemy. Without a moment's hesitation, I pulled the trigger. My brain broke through its limits and was scorched. Just before I fell into unconsciousness, just one brief moment before white was painted over my consciousness, I caught a glimpse of the enemy's form. How beautiful. Between a rift in the clouds, I saw an angel. Interesting. What's up, Emmanuel? Interesting. So, 7 days, and it seems like he used himself as like the to power the Black Barrel. Interesting. Which would explain why he fell into unconsciousness right after firing it. Okay. 0. Gogh. Angel nodes. The meter of night arms. And over count 1999 type. Okay, sure. Matter, because it could be metal matter. Okay, sure. Sure. Thank you for the translator notes. Okay. Encyclopedia. I guess we read this as well, huh? Do we read the encyclopedia? Or I guess we can. Land of Steel, overcount 1999. A plane that died. Okay. A globe that reached its end. A world uninhabitable by living things. This is the name of the present day's world. It's not an official name, but a common name passed down amongst the humans who live in the ruined land. Like the name Land of Steel makes apparent, the majority of the continent is made up of cracked wasteland, covering the murky grey clouds. Food cannot be grown, and the Earth's atmosphere, previously suitable for animals, has been lost. It was, to put it in the human species way of speaking, a drastic end of a century. But even after the mother planet died, the human species was able to live on with its developed civil technology. Even the planet's end that humanity once imagined couldn't bring an end to the human species. Even the planet's end. Interesting. Okay, Land of Steel. 100 A-ray subspecies. A-ray. The next generation prime species created by the humanity that used... Wait, can you see it? Yeah, you can. That used up all of planet's resources, each possessing motifs from the living things that used to exist on the planet. They were heavily modified and enhanced in order to survive the ruined planet, on the ruined planet. Their evolutionary tree is diverse and had been broadly classified into 100 species. Classifications numbered 1 through 10 consists of only a single species, rather than a colony. Some carry the genes of humans and have human-like characteristics, but as you would expect, the vast majority have evolved from a fusion of various species and the prime species. Okay. So it's like the Yaga. Oh. Yeah, it's like the Yaga. Interesting. Liner. Human species. Humanity in the Land of Steel. The former human species were able to evolve alongside this world. To be more precise, they're also included within the 100A race. Okay. They were able to adapt and live within the current environment, but despite that, they're unable to exceed the limits of an ordinary human's abilities. Okay, I see. So they just adapted, but they're still like humans. They're building a civilization in order to reform the old civilization. They are in ceasefire with the 100A race species. Okay, I see. The Great War, Babel's Tale. After the death of the planet, there was a war between the surviving remnants of humanity and the 100A race. Humanity simply acted in order to survive, and the A race acted in order to rule the world. The various A rays were united into 100 subspecies by the Six Sisters. In the face of this threat, humanity was pushed to the brink of defeat. Near the end of the Great War, humanity created a human species and the Knights, and this development only led to the further destruction of the planet that was already dead. There was no victor in this war. A third party came flying in toward the end of the battle, and both sides were almost annihilated. Of course, they got third-partied. Okay, interesting. Knights. Ether line. Those among the human species who possess biology with an even stronger acceptance of the drastically changed environment's influence. They wield special weapons called Mystic Swords, and are an aggressive species that can fight the A-rays equally without any support from the weapons of the old era. There are currently 78 Knights enlisted. What's up, Spark? Okay. Wait, how many? 78. 78 Knights. And they can wield Mystic Swords. Okay. Mystic Sword. The name of the weapon that Knights carry. Every liner born in this world receives the influence of grain. Okay, that's gonna be here. Babies born with a large amount of grain inside of them at the time of birth, shape it as if it's their bones as they mature, and when they reach adulthood, the Mystic Sword is birthed from their body. That's cool, that's so cool! Because they're created with the unanalyzed entity grain, Mystic Swords are able to cause various phenomena, and their power is strong enough to be considered weapons. Only a few humans are able to form a Mystic Sword, and only those who wield a Mystic Sword capable of being used in a real battle are enlisted as Knights. Only one Mystic Sword exists for each Knight. That's awesome. Grain Ether. Cosmic dust. It's a name given to all harmful and immeasurable particles which flooded from the planet after it lost its functions. Although it is hazardous to humans, in rare cases it can make unique changes to their bodies, leading some people to call this substance ether. The 100 A-race subspecies, human species, and Knights are all new species brought forth by the effects of grain. The energy conversion rate of the grain dispersed into the air is incredible and has resulted in a new level of warfare that was never before possible on this planet. In this battle between the A-rays, who can take grain to their bodies, and those who have crystallized grain to forge mystic swords, all weapons of the old era have become useless. Ooh! Yep. That's awesome. That's so cool. Every liner receives the influence of grain, and then those who have a lot of it can make mystic swords. Okay. I guess chapter 1, Original Sin. After I come home from work, I saw an angel's... What? I saw an angel holding a guitar. It seems that I've finally gone insane. Long, blonde, wavy hair and a pure white one-piece dress. A face that left behind it hints of girlish youth and a ring of light above her head. If this girl wasn't an angel, what in the world could she be? Good evening. The angel bowed with an awkward smile. Rubbing my eyes, I walked inside. The angel kept standing in the middle of the room, holding the guitar, looking at me with excitement for whatever reason. Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? Oh, I'm an angel. She laughed with a sweet smile. I can see that. What I meant was, why are you in my room? If you're here to sell yourself, you came to the wrong place. I hate to break it to you, but I'm not earning enough to buy an angel. I'm not here to sell myself. What's the best way of saying this? I'd like to look after you. I can do it myself. Get out. Hey, that's not fair. I'll do anything you want. Well, since she begged me to, I ended up letting her clean my room. The result, a scene far more gruesome than a tragedy. Oh no. Oh no, it's a girl failure, of course. My cooking is perfect, the angel said, raising the tip of her finger. Yeah, that's great and all, but my body can't take in factory-produced food. That's way too much nutrition. I bet my blood vessels would burst open. Do you get what I'm saying? The angel nodded her head in agreement. She seemed to understand that I'm similar to a liner, not an A-ray. So what else can you do? I can play the guitar, the girl said so happily, showing the guitar in her hands. That blue guitar was one of the types that used electricity to produce sound. It wasn't the kind of thing that could ever suit someone like that of an angel. And well, she just plain sucked. Oh, poor thing. Thanks, but no thanks. Now's about time you left. I took the angel by the hand and booted her out of the window. After several days passed, I went to the hospital. There's nothing wrong with your brain, answered a fish-faced doctor. Every day since then, after finishing work, I wasted energy chasing down that angel. Eventually, I caved and let her in. The sky, it's dark, the angel muttered, looking out at the sky from the window. The angel didn't even know that. Figures. She didn't even seem to be one of the artificial angels among the 100 A-ray subspecies. The angel didn't... Hey, where'd you come from? I'm guessing you're not an A-ray from this side of the rift. I'm not an A-ray. Then what are you? I am the fantasies of the city's people given form. That's why I'm so pretty. I'm glad that everyone has such pure hearts. The angel twirled around happily, the edge of her skirt wavering like a dress. Now that she mentions it, she suddenly carried the visage of a fantasy. Angels were too beautiful to pass through this land of steel. Her golden hair was so dazzling, yet paradoxically reminiscent of poison. So that meant she was an illusion only I could see. Why is the manifestation of everybody's imagination in my room? Well, it's obvious that I'm here because you're the guy who killed me. She got more mad at the fact that I didn't realize that more than the fact that I killed her. Did you come here to get revenge then? She answered back. What's revenge? The angel turned out to be pretty handy, and over time learned many things. Now she's apparently grasped what cleaning means. The only exception to her skill was anything involving the guitar. I'm not improving with the guitar at all. I'm playing it just like what I'm imagining the sound to be, but... Wait. I'm playing it just like what I'm imagining the sound to be, but what I'm thinking and what's coming out are completely different. I see. So she was interested in playing it. If that was the case, then it was clear that it was highly unlikely to go well. No shit. The guitar needs tuning, you know. Yup. Screwed up from the beginning. The angel tilted her head and asked, what's tuning? What's tuning? Okay. Interesting. Okay. So... she said that she is a manifestation of people's, like, ideals or fantasies and stuff into a person. Is that kind of like how True Ether in the Age of Gods was like concepts given form? Like you would have like concepts that would be made into gods and stuff. I guess so. Maybe, I don't know. At least a similar idea, I guess. The sky, it's encyclopedia. The sky, it's dark, cloud sky. Cloud-covered sky. Numerous thick layers of clouds have hidden the sky since the Great War. It doesn't mean the sky isn't grey. It appears that the real sky cannot be seen. It'll be explained? Okay. Angels. Number 20, Guardian Angel. Artificial angels within the 100 subspecies of A-rays. Rank 20 of the 100. but in the aspect of destroying matter alone. They come close to the 10th rank species, a colony that protects a single array species. They possess the characteristics of the angels originating from the old world's largest religion, a human species with a pair of avian wings. Okay. An aggressive species that uses the heavy particles that disperse into the atmosphere after the world's end as a resource of power by absorbing them into their bodies. Okay, so those are the artificial ones that he mentioned. Huh. Okay. Humans, last seed. A human species that did not undergo any selective breeding, neither did their descendants. Since they're unable to survive on this planet, it is said that they are on the verge of extinction. In order for humans to survive in the outside world, they need the support of medicines or machines. If the air is inhaled, unmedicated, or unprocessed, it will result in death. To make matters worse, factory-produced food cannot be eaten. The nutrients raise the physical abilities so much that it becomes poisonous to humans instead. They are rare, but not valuable. Yo, what's up? Chapter 2, Public Garden. Interesting. Okay. A pair of feathered wings like that of a bird but grow from the backs of humanoid-bodied women. Despite their beautiful modeling, those creatures are called angels. They're rare but not valuable. That is a fire line. Yeah. My job is to shoot 20 angels dead each day. So it honestly wasn't very surprising that I was seen as an enemy amongst all beings known as angels. I came to this place a year ago, a rather unique city within the land of steel. No plants can grow on the surface of this dead planet. Yet every manner of grey-colored tree had grown all over the city, and even a withered grass field on top of a hill. On the hill that, at the center of the city, there were two gigantic trees concealing the city. Okay. Right, on the hill at the center, okay. These trees even reached the sea of clouds and were named the wall trees for their immense size. The wall trees, huh? That sounds familiar. I chose my job as an angel hunter. In this city, angels come flying down from the sky and attack people every day. They're unintelligent creatures, resembling angels only in appearance. Although they do attack people, they're only pests akin to wild dogs, doing little actual harm. But if we left them alone, the city would be swarmed by angels. So the city council had to hire hunters. I didn't know if the angels had a set location they came down to, but I saw a lot of them in the forest on the outskirts of the city. Okay. Okay. Pulling on the trigger of my rifle, I caught the impact with my shoulder. The naked angel fell down and hit the floor, having been shot right in the forehead. The forest floor was littered with falling leaves and countless angel corpses. Oh. Crossing the earth's harsh terrain, I returned into the walls and surrounded the city. A beastman who was in charge of a different post was waving his hand as he approached me. Yo, how's business? Nothing out of the ordinary. 3 coppers per kill. If I consider the price of the bullet, I won't even have a single copper for myself. That's because you use a gun. Be a man and use your body. I can't do that, I'm afraid. Unfortunately, I'm not that well built. I'll be poisoned by the open air unless I take medicine. I'm just doing my best to stay alive. Oh. Okay, so he is a last seed human. Oh, is that so? That's inconvenient. So is being human, huh? Yeah, sure is. Just part of being human. That's fine. Being human is definitely inconvenient in this world. That must have been why the human beings of this old age had to dream up many inventions. The result was the creation of the A-rays, and that led to the preparations for the Great War. Okay. Just like that, pure humans became the victims of natural selection. Since I got another mouth to feed, I increased my workload. Man, that angel sure can eat. Okay. The materials produced at the factories are free, but there's a limit. So I had to increase my daily quota from 20 to 30. How ironic is it to kill more angels to feed an angel? Okay. Initially I thought this was like a different character that we were cutting into, but it's the same character, just, okay, at his workplace. Oh, interesting. Working hard these days, aren't you? Just relieving stress. Those targets actually look very similar to what's stressing me out. Makes this job exciting. When I spilled out my complaints in desperation, the beastman tilted his head, lacking any sympathy. It's good that you're dedicated to your job. Watch your back though. I've heard that there are some knights inspecting the forest. Apparently a guy with a mystic sword was studying up on you. Ooh. What the hell? Isn't Aristotle coming this way? I don't know. More importantly, they say our pay is getting lowered again this month. That's more realistic. That's a more realistic life or death situation, isn't it? Yeah, that's true. This is getting worse and worse. The Financial Bureau wants us dead too. Well, I've never done anything wrong. Yeah, right. This guy's also a prisoner who murdered over 50 liners. Ooh. The Beastman sighed and looked over at the pile of angel corpses littering the forest. Hey, you think we can eat them? He muttered a bad idea. Forget it, you're probably asking for some divine punishment. I shrugged my shoulders as I gave an obvious reply. Okay. Encyclopedia 3, Aristotle's. 1. Something 1. 8 life forms that appeared at the end of the Great War. Unidentifiable existence. Each Aristotle has a significantly different appearance and biology. The origin of their name is unknown, but the name's origin can be traced back to a philosopher from the old age. Yep. At the end of the Great War. Okay. Considering both humanity and the 100 A-ray subspecies to be their enemy. Oh, both humanity, okay, to be their enemies. They attacked indiscriminately and often. As a result, humanity's foundation was completely destroyed, and the number of A-rays was completely diminished at the hands of the Aristotles. After the Great War came to an end, their activities were slowed down by the sea of clouds that covered the sky, but they still continue to erase all life forms on this planet. Since then, the human species and the A-rays have separated themselves on a grand scale from humanity, and have also become companions under ceasefire until the elimination of their common enemy, the Aristotles. Okay. Okay, interesting. Romance. The raw title is a roman with English letters, so it's more likely romance of an idea rather than romance between... Okay, sure. Sure. Thank you, translator note. Appreciate that. An angel caught me on my way home from work. Not a freeloader, clearly an angel-type A-ray. Not very social these days, are you? I don't think you're stupid enough to reject a Oh, not very social these days, are you? I don't think you're stupid enough to reject a beautiful woman like me. She said, marching me into a bar and thrusting a beer in front of me. It's true, I don't think I've spoken to her for about half a year. I let the dull conversation blossom before a heckler butted in. Hey, you should be spending your time with an A-ray rather than the human type over there. I thought so too, but she shut him up with a glare. I'm sorry, were you offended? Wait. I think... sorry, were you offended? Yeah, I don't feel great about it, but he's got a point. Why are you even spending time with someone like me? Don't the A-rays prefer strong species? Oh, never mind. That is him saying it. Yeah, I don't feel great about it, but he's got a point. Why are you even spending time with someone like me? Don't the A-rays prefer strong species? If you think I can father a strong child, I'm sorry, but I can't do that. Come on, one little exception wouldn't hurt, right? Besides, our outward appearance is much more important. A-ray species similar to angel types are few and far between. And you're also my type, so it's no problem at all. She assured me as she brought a glass of purple fizz to her lips. She really did have the appearance of an angel, but her wings were not for flying. Angel-type A-rays could fly without them, and their wings were said to be used to collect the heavy particles surrounding them. Oh, that's cool. It was rumored that her subspecies, the former protectors of the Six Sisters, could match the mystic sword-wielding knights in terms of fighting ability. Oh, that her okay. In other words, even just one of them was capable of great destruction, on the level of a nuclear bomb. We kept drinking, and by the time she was completely out of it, she asked me something strange. Hey, do you use a gun? Well, unlike A-rays, humans aren't able to use grain, you know. Our strength is very limited too, so it's only natural that we rely on weapons. I mean, what other practical firearm could I use other than a gun? No. But that means humans aren't supposed to fight. So why do you fight? Yeah, seems to be that way, doesn't it? Well, let's see. If I remember correctly, my family were killed when I was just a little brat. I dug up a gun or two and started practicing my aim like crazy. Nothing but revenge on my mind. Oh, typical. Yeah. It's boring, right? Yeah. Yeah, that forced smile wasn't fooling anyone. Neither was that pathetic attempt of a laugh. I've never been able to fake a laugh, not even once.
But how's that boring? You mentioned the family, so they must be the same species, right? I never heard of any humans living around here, except you, of course.
I must have never told you, huh? I was born and raised in Westland. It's on the other side of the Great Rift.
Did you say Westland? The continent that was erased by the Black Aristotle. Aristotle?
Wow. She fell silent after that. It makes sense. I must have been around 12 or 13 when Westland was burned to the ground. An old story now, almost 7 years old. Wait, you're that young? You're like 18, 19? 20? Somewhere around there? Oh.
By the way, I'm just curious, do you still have that awful job?
Yeah, that's right. But there isn't any other job that a moron like me could do. And I don't feel like being protected as a rare species either. So why are you still complaining about it? Those things aren't the same as you, so don't let it bother you. It's ridiculous.
It does bother me. I couldn't care less about other guns for hire, but it makes me sick that you of all people are killing angels every day. Well, what's your reason for hunting angels?
That's because I'm twisted. It's just a job, that's all. Like I said before, there's nothing else I can do to put food on the table. I spat out an excuse without looking her in the eyes, but her cold stare saw straight through my bullshit.
Whatever, you've quit thinking. That's why you don't feel any pain. But you can't feel happiness either, or even have fun thinking about better times. You must be living your everyday life like a machine. That's why you need to rely on logical reasoning to motivate yourself.
An angel talked down to me with a discontent expression on her face. But what's so wrong with becoming a thoughtless machine? The idea that we were superior creatures just because we had the capacity for emotion was the real fantasy. What's with you today? It seems like you're just trying to give me a hard time.
I ain't giving you a hard time. You're barely talking to me.
A drunken angel isn't a great look either, you know.
What do you mean? I'll have you know that I'm super popular in my hometown. Even in my home... I'll have you know that I'm super popular in my hometown, even when I'm as drunk as this.
And saying, yeah, I looked up at my empty glass. I was planning on holding back tonight, but I'd reached the point of passing out before her. The angel questioned me one last time.
Hey, why do you fight?
That's because I don't want to die.
Okay, so why don't you want to die?
Because I'm always certain that I want to live.
Why do you want to live?
That's obvious. I've kept on surviving because I've never experienced anything that made life worth living. Not even once.
Is that so? Relying on logical reason to live, you really are an immature creature.
And just like that, she left first. I guess there was no fixing it. The world's within a post-apocalypse because of humans that lived by their instincts. Okay, yeah. The world is within a post-apocalypse. Okay, yeah. Having to rely on pessimistic reasonings, the only punishment given to the humans who were left behind. Interesting. Saving system. Saving system of Earth. 6 sisters. Number 1 saving system of Earth. Saving system... Oh, saving. Saving. Okay, sure. Thank you, translator. Beings who reigned over the 100 subspecies of a race at the time of the Great War. It's said that they possess the outward appearance of the human species itself, and that all 6 look like witches straight out of a fairy tale, wearing black hats and riding on broomsticks. Each one of them carried an ability that surpassed all 100 A race subspecies. At the end of this Great War, the youngest sister, Judgment, was defeated by a knight, but her death cry created a giant rift in the center of the continent. The whereabouts of the remaining 5 are unknown. Oh, Jupiter, Black Aristotle. An Aristotle that appeared in Westland, a black giant several dozens of kilometers in length. What? Several dozens of kilometers? Its form was completely close to that of a human being. In truth. Wait. What the in truth, it was a gathering of black photon gas which could theoretically expand infinitely in size. It's a gas attack. I see. It's a gas explosion. A gas leak. The unknowable core at its center can only be described as an artificial sun which emits its gases. What? The mountains of gas. Type Jupiter, yeah. The mountains of gas contained an unidentifiable nucleus at its core that was impossible to explain other than being a pseudo-sun. The body of photon gas seems to have been emitted from that object. Of the 8 Aristotles, type Jupiter has erased the most life. It sent the Western continent into an all-out war and wiped them out without a scar. Although there are probably no such concepts like scars to this Aristotle. Later, after a battle with the Knights who were dispatched to the west, it was bisected by Knight Edom's mystic sword / Emperor. The bisected Aristotle pseudo-sun rampaged, and the entire surface of the western continent was scorched. Okay. Okay. The church has something to do with this. Might, yeah. Yeah, no, it's type moon, yeah. The crucifix. Type Saturn. Okay. Crucifix like Aristotle. Total length reaching 3,000 meters. Okay, that's a lot less. Its outer shell is composed of luminous materials and has no pattern whatsoever. The flying object sends down a deadly rain of light with the form of the Holy Cross. Okay, I see, it's a Rongominiad. Each raindrop is 1 meter long electromagnetic shock with the shape of a cross. That's just freaking Evangelion. That's awesome. Which explodes and scatters upon contact, annihilating all surrounding life forms. There are other variations of these crosses of light, which can perforate the Earth's surface, causing earthquakes that destroy the very land where people live. Innumerable as they may be, perhaps these crucifixes stuck into the earth mark the deaths of their victims, not unlike the gravestones spread across the wasteland. It is fittingly titled the Flying Fortress, and it is thought to be the leader of the Aristotles within the planetary sphere. 1999, what a year. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that some of this has definitely been inspired by Ava. That's awesome. Longinus! Black Barrel, Longinus. A black gun belonging to the gun god. The gun god, because it is made of a mineral that conflicts with grain. It's quite possible to say that the black barrel is the natural enemy of all life forms that contain even a minuscule amount of grain. However, in this world where every remaining life form has been influenced by grain, there isn't anything left that can use or even touch it. Okay, it is the god-slaying gun. If the weapon's target contains a great power, in other words, grain, the bullet's killing capability would rise in proportion to the amount of grain within. Now, with this gun, the value of a particular rare species has changed. Only those life forms that lack the ability to evolve in response to grain, and are completely devoid of it, can touch the black barrel without any consequences. Dynasty, this is Nasu's work. What do you mean? What does this have to do with FGO? It's Black Barrel. It's the Spear of Longinus as well. So it's a freaking Percy. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so it's a tiny bit different here. It's kind of like in proportion to how powerful someone is as opposed to how old someone is, but in concept, similar thing. Okay. The sky. It's red. Blood sky. The sky of this world. There's no blue sky above the sea of clouds. A red sky is spread out as far as the eye can see. It isn't because the air is polluted. During the final years of the Great War, alone Aristotle came flying into this atmosphere. Type Pluto, whose blood stained the sky a crimson red. That's so cool. While Pluto was attempting to invade the atmosphere, it was confronted by the Six Sisters, who all attacked at once. Type Pluto's blood completely enveloped the planet. That's awesome. That is... it's so reminiscent of Evangelion, I love it. The grey clouds that conceal the sky are considered to be a protective barrier the Six Sisters placed. In this red sky, two other Aristotles swim through the sea of blood like floating fish, unable to access the planet itself. Oh man, this is awesome. Heaven's Corpse, type Venus. An Aristotle estimated to be 1,000 meters long. Okay, a tiny boy. It appeared after the Great War, flying within the sea of clouds. Its shape was unable to be confirmed, nor could anyone report any exact features of its appearance. It is a life form that has grown two wing-like appendages, and compared to other Aristotles, it's closer to the evolutionary tree of this planet. It's closer to the evolutionary tree of this planet. Okay, yeah. According to records, during the 83rd year of the new calendar, it was shot down in an extermination operation carried out by the Order of Knights and fell somewhere on the continent. 83rd year of the new calendar. Originally, it was a life form that fell onto the surface, onto the surface of the planet, sinking its roots into the land, scattering the corpse's ego, manifested as spores, eating away at life on this planet. In short, it can be roughly described as a gigantic carnivorous plant. Fortunately, it was put to sleep using the black barrel. Oh! Heaven's corpse, type Venus. Huh. That's awesome. Scattering, manifesting the spores, eating away the life on this planet. That's so cool. English be hard, yeah, it is. After images. The angel kept looking down at the scene far down below. The city was overloaded with people trying to escape.
What's everyone doing?
It's a citywide evacuation. The neighboring area was destroyed by a 3,000-meter Aristotle. Calculating its flight path, it should pass by the city in 3 days. Oh, it's a 3,000-meter one. Then it's... Which one was 3,000 meters? It was this one? No, this one, right? Saturn? Yeah. Type Saturn.
Flying above me.
It's flying above all our heads. It might crash into the wall trees. It doesn't matter which direction it's going. Everything beneath it is going to be destroyed. It's only natural that everyone's running away. Gazing vaguely at the ground, the angel mutters.
So that's why everyone's so desperate.
I gave the angel a sideways glance as I started getting my stuff together. She was just standing there, a little taken aback. I shoved the warm clothes, winter equipment, my personal air maker, and several guns into my bag. I decided to leave everything else behind.
You too. You really going?
I don't want to die young, you know. I'm not leaving right away. Once the commotion down there has died down, I'll go out here by myself. The angel's eyes were downcast with disappointment. Just because she was always so cheerful for no reason. That was enough to make her look so awfully lonely.
This might be the last time, so please answer me. What in the world are you?
Oh, this might be the last time, so please answer me. What in the world are you? The angel let out a sigh with nothing under it. All I knew was that she wasn't a real angel, but I still didn't get it. That's why I wanted to know the truth, at least in the end. The angel replied so simply.
I'm what everyone calls an Aristotle.
Yo! What? I thought that she was gonna be one of the sisters. What? Oh, shit. She stared at me with those eyes, as if to say,
You didn't know?
Aristotle's. Beings that suddenly appeared on our planet and became the enemy of every last life form, without exception. Immeasurable monsters whose biological structures, not to mention their methods of communication, were enigmatic in nature. I guess they're kind of like akin to like beasts, in a way then. Okay. What kind of sick joke is that? One of those things was in a little city like this, in this deserted tower's cheap apartment, shaped like an angel, even playing a guitar. That's not even funny. Why did a life form like her think that no living creature on this planet had the right to live? I guess this must be some kind of punishment from God. Are you serious? You're a...
No, not at all. That would actually be the ground of this city. The entity containing my former self was shot down and it crash landed here. It died instantly. The trees grew from its body and humans started to live around it.
Okay, it's this one then, right? It's Venus. The angel goes on and on. The planet no longer had the power to raise life. That's why greenery could not grow. But was telling me we could grow it as long as the ground on it. Wait. That's why greenery could not grow. But she was telling me we could grow it as long as the ground on which it was planted was the top of a corpse instead of the planet. Okay.
In the beginning, I wasn't this type of existence. I ended up this way by accident. What everyone calls the world trees are actually the wings of my former self. The leaves of the world trees are, well, in other words, the feathers of the wings, right? The feathers that fluttered down took the shape of my former self. Type Venus was that kind of invasive life form, not the angel spread through this planet.
But you're still shaped like an angel.
That's because I'm everyone's fantasy. My former self's body had died, but what seems to be something along the lines of an ego is still alive. But my former self never had the concept of an ego. The species of this planet possesses an extraordinary ability to give form to intelligence.
Oh, okay. My former self also had intelligence, but couldn't use it. Oh. This is still her.
My former self also had intelligence, but couldn't use it. I was able to take shape using everyone here as a model. I took the form of an angel because it was the closest image to my former self. Aristotles don't have the ability to come to mutual understanding, but becoming an angel granted me the same thought patterns as everyone else. By becoming an angel from a fantasy, I could become myself.
Bro, this sounds so much like you, Olga Marie. Like the foreign god. You know, the foreign god trying to take a shape of the most optimal person. Interesting. Like trying to find an optimal vessel and stuff. Huh. By becoming a fantasy, the angel managed to distance herself from the beings known as Aristotles. By becoming something other than herself, the strange girl was able to understand herself for the first time. The girl was already no one at all. Just a realization of an angel dreamt up by the people here. Are you happy with that?
Yes.
The angel very happily nodded her head. The girl was nowhere to be found. There was only an illusion. I see. I guess angels can only exist in fantasies. I recall the definition of the angel all of a sudden, that she had wings and a halo, and she was beautiful, and finally, she was nothing more than a dream. After all, the things in my life that give me any small scrap of happiness turned out to be nothing but delusions in the end. When I thought that, the angel replied to me, sounding so disappointed.
You're right. I wish I was the real angel.
She looked so much more angelic than a real angel, but complained about something like that. Oh, okay, interesting. Welcome, FGO boy, welcome. That is crazy. Okay. How a Star is Born, Chapter 5. The gigantic crucifix disappeared deep into the sea of clouds that had been stained with grey sunlight. Its course had only been shifted slightly, but it began to vanish far away into the distance while continuing to send its rain of judgment down to the surface. It seemed that the battle was finally over. Holy shit. The plane carrying me kept on rising above the troposphere. Rising slowly, on the side of the smoking plane was a large hole. The wounded iron bird couldn't listen to orders anymore. Just like the dreams of all who had wings, it would keep flying until its body rotted away. Sooner or later, it should pierce through the grey sea of clouds and into the stratosphere. My body wasn't built to breathe in such a place, but I didn't need to worry about that. There was no guarantee I'd even be alive by the time I got there. I lowered my sniper rifle and slammed against the wall. The door of the hangar remained open. The freezing air flowed in, just as it did back then. The view of the surface could be seen clearly. A monochrome land, devoid of color. Even the distant sea was colorless. This world was completely dead. But despite that, this still colored world was too precious for me. My vision started to blur. I saw a scene just like this 5 years ago. Celestial object, I see. The enemy that tore through the clouds that day was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. I shot down an angel-like creature. It had 2 wing-like appendages and a vaguely humanoid form. And a comparatively tiny bullet pierced it to its forehead. The angel fell down to the heavens. Fell down from the heavens. Holy, what a line! After the comparatively tiny bullet pierced its forehead, the angel fell down from the heavens. Back then, during the moment I pulled the trigger, I locked eyes with it through the scope. There wasn't any mutual understanding. That's just how it was. But since then, I just couldn't stop dreaming about that thing falling through the sea of clouds forever. The angel riding with me woke up. One of her wings had been horribly plucked off. As a high-ranking member of the A-race, she was sent out on this mission as usual. She jumped in and with wounds all over her body. She only dropped by to rest her wings, but no luck. The moment she opened the hangar door and got in, this plane was pierced with an arrow of light, after continuing to fly too close to the cross. The light pierced through the girl's wing and the plane's body, snatching away even the plane's AI and the girl's consciousness. And now, a few minutes later, the unconscious angel slowly woke up. Good morning. As soon as I talked to her, she turned around and looked outside. The thing called Aristotle was disappearing into the distance. The angel was staring in awe. I informed her about the destruction that happened here, and about the mission success. She only had the strength to crawl, and as she drew closer, her hand slipped on something wet. My blood had sprayed across the floor and formed a pool, painting the angel's body red.
When you shoved me out of the way.
I didn't answer the question. I just stared at what was happening outside. I saw the sky for the first time in my life, but I didn't expect the real sky to be different from the one I read about in books. The sky. It's red. I repeated the words that I heard somewhere before as my arm lost its strength. The black bullet fell to the floor.
A black gun. I knew it. You're the person who shot down the bird.
I guess. That's what people say. But I used all my luck back then. Look at this mess now.
Idiot. It's because you saved me.
How could I help myself? I couldn't let a pretty girl like you die in front of my eyes. I gave her a pretentious one-liner. It was so silly, I couldn't stop myself from cracking a smile.
That line's so out of character. The girl laughed with me.
We both laughed without looking at each other, with small, weak but gentle voices.
You've changed. You weren't this honest with your feelings before, were you?
I wonder if there was something that changed me. Although, if it was the angel who said she'd rather be a fake, she must still be waiting in my room for me to come back to her. They say that angels heal the mind, not the body. Oh, okay. But that's not true. I didn't change who I am because of someone else. I've always been like this. I only pretended to be cold, but I'm actually a nice guy deep down. Didn't you notice?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean it. I got used to being a hero back when I was just a kid. I was immature, but maybe I still am. That's how you need to go already. Right now, even with one wing, you should be able to land on the ground. You don't need to go out with me. She stood up and gave me a strangely stern look.
Are you going to be okay with that? Being alone until the end?
Didn't I tell you? I want to look cool. I'm used to being a hero, you know. Besides, I want to be alone in the end. Because until now, I've been alone all of this time. I think my clumsy forced smile went smoothly. Probably the best of my life. The best one of my life.
Well then, this is goodbye.
Clapping her one good wing, she flew away. She reminded me of the fish-like angel swimming through the Red Sea. I got up and sat in the cockpit. Not knowing what I was doing myself, I tried to fix the broken autopilot. If I still had some luck left, I was sure things would end up differently. When I closed my eyes and slept, I heard a voice close to my ear.
Why did you fight?
That's because I didn't want to die.
Why didn't you want to die?
That's because I wanted to live.
But why did you want to live?
That's obvious. It's because at the farthest limits of my memory, only the answer was different from before. Interesting. Glitter love. Interesting. On the day I tried to leave the city, I barely avoided getting caught by a military messenger. Someone must have heard the old story from 5 years ago and enlisted me in the mission. When I returned to retrieve the black barrel that I abandoned, the angel was also still left in that room.
You're going to fight that thing?
Seems like it. The Order of Knights are gathering too, so the military is definitely willing to fight. I've been told that we'll at least be able to alter the cross's flight path, if that's all there is to it. Well, it's not like it's impossible.
It's impossible. No one understands what an it is impossible or what.
Wait,
No one understands what an it is impossible. Everyone fails to understand that beings known as Aristotle's.
wait, what? It's, oh, wait. This is confusing me. Why is there, okay.
What? It is impossible. No one understands what an it is impossible. What?
I don't know. L6 title, the moment this planet is born. Yeah.
It is impossible. Everyone fails to understand the beings known as Aristotle's. They're not creatures of this planet. There's no way to win.
There's no such thing as impossible. Remember, we defeated 3 Aristotles already. If we have more firepower than them, they're not unstoppable.
Is that so? They're incompatible with this planet's common sense. That's why the very concept of death doesn't exist for them. They won't stop until they fulfill their purpose.
A purpose? Every one of you has such a thing.
Yes. We didn't decide that purpose for ourselves, but we have one. This planet's death was the result of the life that inhabited it. The planet itself was not pessimistic about its death, because the planet only contained a will, didn't contain any meaning. However, an exception had been made. The human species was able to live on, even on the planet's land. Please, I want you to cause the extinction of every life form that is still alive. Naturally, the only ones who were able to hear the planet's cry for help were other planets. We were chosen as the absolute highest ranking species of each other planet that received this planet's will.
What's up, Matthew?
For example, the Aristotle known as Heaven's Corpse, the thing that used to be me, was the most superior individual on Venus.
Okay. 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 I want you to cause the extinction of every life form that is still alive. Oh. What did you just say? I lost my breath without realizing. Our enemies once stood at the top of each planet's evolutionary trees with an alien common sense. So the strongest life form of a planet is, in other words, the very planet itself. The human species, who had been surviving on this planet, were essentially dealing with the 8 other planets. Yeah, well, it doesn't look like we can win, huh?
Yes.
The angel nodded apologetically. Besides, they're the ones in the right. Geez, if we just accept the 2,000-year prophecy, we'd ended up still being the victims.
You're wrong. It's the Aristotles who are at fault. They did not have any will. Isn't it a bad thing to erase life without having a will?
Wait, what? I don't know who's saying what anymore. Okay, it's fine. But there was no longer any notion of good and evil on this planet. The self-contradictory rule was just to live or die. It was as simple as that. That's why. Because I've lived for this long, I'm not going to just roll over and die. It makes no difference. I don't want any kind of reason to fight either. At this point, I'll never have one. Isn't this the most simple way of life? The angel didn't answer me. What are you going to do? While it may be true that you have the same purpose, you and the cross are different, right? Then your body will be destroyed along with the city, you know? You said you died instantly, but that's in our way of putting it. I don't think that as we know it on this planet applies to the life forms from other planets. The truth is, you can already move, can't you? The angel... Oh, yeah. The angel looked down and shook her head.
No, I can't. If I move, the outer shell of the wings will shatter. All of the other leaves will fall from what everyone calls the world trees. If that happens, countless angels will flood the land from the sky.
The angel said that with a gloomy face. She's right. The number of leaves on top of the 2 trees reaching the sea of clouds far exceeds the number of human species in existence. Damn! The hundreds of millions of angels set free would cover the planet's surface in a blink of an eye. But you'll die if you don't.
It's okay, because I'm everyone. I'm nothing but a creation of their fantasies.
But that's just the knowledge given to you. You're different from us. We're just simple decorations to you. So it'd be better if you just hurried up and took off already. The angel sadly smiled and just shook her head like before. Are you an idiot?
I know I am, but I can't help it. I love this place.
With teary eyes, the angel said so in satisfaction. How could I argue with that? I see. Well, I guess it can be helped.
Yes.
She nodded and glared at me, or stared at me. Her sincere gaze was silently asking me, what about you? You're not going to die soon, you know. I think you can at least answer that. The heavens won't punish you. The punishment itself, who came to this planet, irresponsibly broadcast her own death. As I packed my belongings on my back, I gave my answer. Yeah, I understand. Listen, I have a confession to make. I love this place too, so much. It must have been from roughly all the way back then. Ever since then, I've been possessed by you.
Eh?
The angel's eyes widened in astonishment.
What do you mean?
It must mean I've been in love with you since that moment. I just didn't realize it until now. As soon as I desperately threw out those words, the angel's expression sparkled, but she immediately hung her head.
But I'm not human.
Unfortunately, the angel had only just realized that fact. Jeez, are you an idiot? Seriously. Well, let me tell you something. There's only one human being in this world, and that's me. So why the hell should that matter?
You're right.
There was nothing more to talk about. The time of the military gathering was drawing closer, so I started walking outside. I've got to head out. Go find someone with a better dream next time. You'll become a real angel if you do that. Because the fantasies I dreamt up were all twisted in some way. When I looked back at her one last time, the angel with a gentle expression answered me.
No, there's no such thing as a real angel. I'd rather say a fake one.
The fantasy told me that she'd remained as a fantasy. Is that so? Convinced, I left the room. All that remained in that room was my older sister's guitar and the fake angel. Interesting. Gun God. Godot. 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 By the way, what's the guy's name in what's the guy's name in Garden of Sinners? The teacher from the school that uses the word power. Or not his name, but like what's the word power in? Like the teacher's name that uses like I don't remember. Gun God, Godot. Kurugiri Satsuki. What's the power's name? His other name. It was a popular name assigned to him after the mission Fallen Bird, where he shot down God of War. Didn't they translate it as Godot in the one that I watched? Or not? Maybe they didn't. Something along those lines. His other name. It was a popular name assigned to him after the mission Fallen Bird, where he shot down Type Venus. Some sarcastically called him a god imitator or pretender. Ooh. A rare pure human, he excavated a black barrel from a sealed area. It's his favorite gun. Passed away during the Intercept mission involving Type Saturn. I don't think so. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just imagining it. Okay. Aristotle's Ultimate One. Wait. Type Saturn. Okay. 8 life forms that came from other planets. In truth, they are the strongest life form on their respective planets, and each possess the capability to cause the extinction of all life on this planet on their own. The name Aristotle was given by the people of this planet, since they have no concept of names. Aristotles do not fight each other. They just fly around, freely killing things. Some Aristotles have learned the concept of knowledge from this planet's life forms, or have even appeared before them. After the annihilation of Type Saturn, who received the order from this planet and conveyed it to the other planets, they entered their final battle with the human race. Okay. Melon Book's interview. Okay, let's see. Can you please tell us about the origins of your circle name? It's okay to be called Aristotle's. It's a reference on Aristotle from Notes, but for me, okay, was a useful way to make a decision. As a matter of fact, in that story, Type Moon is revealed just before the final obstacle. They wield the magical sword, a reel of the world, true world. I told the story I had been keeping secret and was told, why don't you use Type Moon? Nice. Aristotle, Ultimate One, Type. It's all the same. Ah. Huh. Okay, character material, 2006, Godot. Ooh, wait, that's cool. What's up, Luna? Godot, real name erased. He was known by the names Gun God and False God. After this world fell to ruin, there were only a few humans left from the old era. Godot was an artificial paradise created by those humans who tried to survive the apocalypse, among other things. Okay. The paradise itself was promptly extinguished by the Black Aristotle. However, a human who had undergone an environmental adaptation, Godot, had the misfortune of surviving as the last remaining human on Earth. However, even though he survived, he didn't have long to live. For Godot, life was like living on the moon. Was now like living on the moon, without the help of machines and medicines. He couldn't breathe properly. He had no choice but to eat poisonous food. It was suddenly quite bleak, but since he had overcome many near-death experiences, Godot accepted or resigned himself to become more of a masochist than a pessimist, taking it easy each day. Once, out of a desire for revenge from the bottom of his heart, he excavated the Black Barrel from the sealed area of Atlasia and participated in a military operation to stop the descent of Type Venus. He withdrew from the war after that, and his location became a mystery. There's a rumor that he got himself involved in a mission to intercept Type Saturn in a certain city, and he is considered to have died in action. He was the weakest, but Godot was a sniper who could resist the strongest poison. Okay. Black Barrel. The black gun that Godot used. It was the weapon crafted using the true fifth element that caused the fifth imaginary element to destroy itself. Whoa. The true fifth element that causes the fifth imaginary element to destroy itself. The Six Sisters call it conceptual weapon of a natural lifespan. Whoa. Aren't the true fifth element? Okay. Mod, yeah, 5.2 and dialogue. Okay. Wait. Weren't they talking about like these like elements and shit like that when they were talking about like true ancestors? Okay. I think so. Maybe not though. A bullet fired from this gun is a magical gunshot that inflicts a wound bypassing any kind of ability value as long as the target operates on true ether. It's akin to a cancer cell driven directly into the body. Nice, yep. One of the reasons why humans fall from the crown of creation was their inability to deal with the grain that filled the atmosphere, which is fatal when inhaled. This new energy, grain, refused humanity and caused it to become the weakest living organism on Earth. However, the Black Barrel was a weapon that suddenly reversed this flaw. It was highly versatile, with every kind of option available via the exchanging of parts, and it could even be used as a sniper rifle. Its unmodified form was similar to a rifle with a curved stock. At the time of excavation, there were two guns, the original and the replica. Godot's favorite was the original. Tsukihime... Okay, I don't think I want to read that. That's Tsukihime stuff. Actually... wait, the protagonist of a short story about angels within the Land of Steel. He's the weakest. He's definitely a person. Later, he has way chic. Okay, sure. And then I don't know. Is this? I guess so. Little girl, projection, illusionary angel. She played the guitar. She was pretty bad at it. After appearing in Godot's apartment in May, she was a good-for-nothing freeloader. She just sat around and did nothing other than being a little troublemaker. Vivi had a special ability that gave her a subtle healing effect. Was completely eat up Godot's income. Her hobby was appreciating the lives of those gathered under the big tree. As you'd expect, falling in love with a virtual existence isn't a good idea, but as you'd also expect, virtual existences are made for falling in love. Oh, that's kind of relevant nowadays. City of the World Trees. It was once a base built in order to monitor the corpse of Type Venus. At the time, those assigned to the site felt as if they were sent into exile. But when it became clear that the corpse was greening the grounds, the base slowly developed into the City of the World Trees. During the military shooting operation involving types Uranus and Neptune, the city's large trees will lose most of their leaves. Oh. Vivi had a cameo in Carnival Phantasm? What? Heaven's Corpse, Type Venus, the ultimate one of Venus. Okay, Type, ultimate one. It could be described as a carnivorous plant with an overall length of about 1,000 meters. It's said to have a form similar to a fish. with a pair of gigantic trees behind it. But nobody has ever recorded it accurately because it was hidden within the sea of clouds. It came flying into Earth and slightly later than the other invading Aristoteles and drifted among the sea of clouds for a long time. It was harmless for a brief period until it finally completed its search for an ideal seabed and began descending. That true form roots into the earth and spreads millions, or rather an indecipherable number of spores, angelic predator terminals. It's an invasive creature that resembles a forest plant, capable of growing from the environment. The Aristotle was a parasitic in nature, so it had ended up absorbing the concept of the human species. Sources: admirable and single-minded nature, blank had fallen in love with the idea of love itself. The command was prey upon everyone and everything on earth, with the answer, love everyone. Okay. Whoa, there's more! There's more! Mystic Sword / Emperor. The Mystic Sword, wielded by Ado Edem, the Devourer of Planets. It is a simple Mystic Sword that increases the size of the blade to match the size of the target. The sword seed in Edem's hands germinates and rapidly expands at the speed of the thought. However, no matter how much True Ether is used for a Mystic Sword, a huge conversion source is required to compose such a huge mass. The more Edem's Mystic Sword increases in size, the more it simultaneously scrapes away at the earth. Okay. Interesting. The more it simultaneously scrapes away at the earth. The flow of the old world's many laws allowed it to gain resources. Edem is no different, bringing ruin to the world in order to protect humanity. Okay, so the more that you use it, the more it destroys the world. It's possible to say that he is in the embodiment of all humans existing in this present moment. Before the formation of the Mystic Sword, it waits in its seed state until it pierces the earth in response to Edem opening his eyes to the truth, growing like a green eggplant. Eggplant? This scene shows the normal battle state, where it seems like a blue aura. Oh, I think there's a picture probably. Okay. Cuts through the red sky. Okay. The knight that forms the Mystic Sword / Emperor. The knight didn't stand out during the battle against the 100A race species. However, the time that Aristotle came flying in, he rose to the center stage. Knight Eden cleaved the black Aristotle type Jupiter in two with a single swing of that Mystic Sword. Since then, the 100A race subspecies, human species, and the Order of Knights built a disposable site to imprison Eden with a great rift known as the Witch's Umbrella, due to the excessively deviant nature of / Emperor. As the battle with the Aristotles had approached its end, he was deployed as a human species last resort and annihilated the Cross, type Saturn, which was said to be invincible, but it's currently unknown if he's alive or dead. The Witch's Umbrella. Witch Swift Umbrella. A castle built in the middle of a large fault. Its name comes from the fact that it's built on a scaffold that looks like an open umbrella turned upside down. It's the original concept for the Millennium Castle from Tsukihime. Within the depths of the castle-shaped prisons, many walls and multiple doors, 1,000 chains bind the thing that sits tied to the throne. From the castle walls, these chains stretch towards the throne like a spiderweb. Lifting from the throne required nothing other than the strength to destroy the entire castle. In addition, there are 78 doors that must be passed to arrive at the throne. There are also magical doors that no ordinary knight can break down. Weren't there also 78 knights? That's kind of a crazy coincidence. Surely it's a coincidence. The Great Rift. The leader of the 100 subspecies of A-rays, the youngest sister of the Six Sisters, heft the world with a crack in the land. The Six Sisters were not created intentionally. It is nothing but the result of the youngest sister's death cry, which gouged out the planet's surface as she was killed in a battle with multiple knights. In the Land of Steel, magecraft has been lost, but rumor has it that each of the Six Sisters are magicians. Knights, the human species that had adapted and evolved to become a new humanity that can survive the devastated Earth and are more humanoid creatures compared to the rest of the A-rays. Liners each have an external organ from the moment of birth, which will be materialized from the grain and are generally named Mystic Swords. Those which handle these swords are known as Knights. There's so much lore for this. Okay. On the Land of Steel. It is a story depicting the battle between the new humanity and other planets. The genre is pseudo-science fiction. It is a fairy tale that depicts a battle between a new human race adapted from the environment and the next generation ecosystem species created by humanity, the A-race. Yes. The story takes place on the dead planet where people are happily fighting over who will be the next leader. However, a mysterious creature called the Aristotles came from outer space as if telling them it was time for both of them to die. This is a very sad story. The strongest species of each planet, ultimate ones, Aristotles, will appear frequently in the Type Moon games from now on. Ah, yes. Also, as a side note, the blue sky is seen through the red sky was Mr. Falz's idea, who's in charge of the design. Even I had neglected to use the red sky in this way. Okay. ORT. Details unknown. Rumor has it that it is a mutant species that suddenly fell into South America before the Christian era. Interesting. AD. Anno Domini. As a creature of aggressive nature, it takes pride in its distinct extra-dimensional abilities. The previous fifth ancestor recklessly attempted to capture it and was killed instantly. After that, it gained vampiric abilities, which established its treatment as an ancestor. An alien entity with an overall length of 40 meters. It's covered with an outer skin that is harder, more flexible, more resistant to temperature differences, and sharper than any other materials on Earth. Besides the main body's absurd attack values, it possesses a special ability resembling a reality marble, the Crystal Valley. Ooh. Okay. It's a fifth ancestor. So, okay. Vampiric abilities, of course, as an ancestor. Okay, it's an alien entity. It's in South America. Cool, and it can possess the ability resembling a reality marble, the Crystal Valley. So close to something like true magic. That's insane. This is the invasion of a repulsive... Oh, Crystal Valley. This is the invasion of a repulsive, beautiful landscape. Some Magi? Magi? And the 27 ancestors... Wait, what? The 27 ancestors are capable of controlling... Magi? I think it's Magi, actually. Are capable of controlling mental worlds, known as reality marbles. But that which ORT possesses is on a different level. ORT is a visitor from another planet. Just by existing on Earth, the environment around him changes towards the environment he once lived in. To put it simply, it's a falsification of the laws of nature, an uncontained leakage of an otherworldly order. If human beings are a species that destroys the Earth, ORT is an invader that literally rewrites the Earth into a different planet. Well, luckily, since ORT is a lazy Mr. Spider, it doesn't seem like he has any interest in harming the Earth. Maybe he's not interested in an invasion. He accidentally came along on the wrong time schedule. It is believed that he has secluded himself within the Crystal Valley until the promised time. However, it's impossible for humans to comprehend ORT's circumstances. The higher-ups of various organizations have been trying to deal with this kind of dangerous creature as soon as possible, but have been counterattacked for poking their noses where they don't belong. Dead Apostle Ancestor. Okay. Interesting. Memo. The basic concept is hopeless despair. You could say that if this was an RPG, ORT would be a hidden boss that's stronger than the last boss. What's this game balance? The developers clearly put no thought into this. No. You should know that you should know it is your fault for messing with him. ORT completely lacks the ability to learn the Earth's culture, but by preying upon living creatures, it seems that he can partially mimic abilities. Because it's a mimicry, even if ORT talks in a human speech pattern, it's nothing but a repetition of something that was said in the past. Well, it's up to the individual to find the romance in that. By the way, ORT considers the former 5th Dead Apostle ancestor to have had the deepest, most intense flavor out of every living being on Earth so far. Great. But as a side note, while ORT crystallizing many trees simply by moving around was my early visual image for Crystal Valley, Falz's spiral design idea for the Crystal Valley's river was amazing, so I went with that. Also, many of the designs I asked Faz to create were based on the information in this book, which he compiled in an amusing way. He's like a rival, isn't he? A super UFO, the strongest aggressive creature. It's an amazing design from another dimension. Or rather, something that not even Ark win against. Okay. Someone better get Ultraman over here. Nice. Source, blank, blank, blank. The Ultimate One of Mercury. Appears in the science fiction short story notes as an Ultimate One's comrades, but by mistake, he arrived on Earth before the others, about 5,000 years. Ah, you stupid boy. To tell you the truth, ORT wasn't one of the strongest species that received the distress call from the distress call sent from Earth. By the way, you can't... Wait, wasn't one of the... Okay. By the way, you can't kill this thing with the mystic eyes of death perception. No! Possessing no concept of death. There's no other way but to destroy ORT physically. No, Shiki's useless then. Check the images. So this is the angel. Okay, Vivi. Okay. And this is our 18-year-old, 19-year-old, whatever, 20-year-old main protagonist. Okay. And this is... Okay, this is the his older sister's guitar. Holy, and this is... Oh my god, that's sick. That is awesome. Okay. Slash Emperor. Okay. Okay, yep. And oh, that's it. Oh, really? Main hero in XX. Holy. Shouldn't there be more? That's it. When it comes to this source, at least that this PDF. That's it. That's it in this doc, yep. Wow. Oh, sorry about that. That was loud. What's happening here? LB 5.2 end reminder. Ah, okay. What's this? Priest. Okay, let's see. Well, this was at the end of 5.2. No, I'll be holding... No, I'll be heading out shortly myself. The foreign god desires a more durable vessel than the one she has now, so she's sending me out to procure one. Ain't she plenty strong as she is? Hell, it's not even possible to make a strong spirit origin anywhere on Earth, right? So where are you gonna find a better one than she's already got? Not to worry, I already have one place in mind. You see, the machine gods of Atlantis aren't the only foreign beings who made their way to this planet in ages long past. There's a golden sea of trees in the belly of the underworld known as Xibalba that's home to an enormous beast. It slumbers in a world where Alaya is stable and wriggles to life in the world where Gaia shows itself. Of course, I speak of an ultimate one, being who came here with an Oort cloud. Okay. And Xibalba, I know that Tez's Noble Phantasm is like the Xibalba one, right? Interesting. Okay, I guess we'll see what that's all about in LB7. That's hype though. So I'm guessing Oort Cloud. Okay. ORT. I see. Yeah, I guess we'll find out. Episode 0's strange fake when talked of Great Spider in the end of the episode. I do not remember that. Okay. Awesome. That's so cool. Oh, thank you, Zeno. Okay, this is the... Oh, I remember this. I remember seeing her in Carnival Phantasm. I remember seeing her. I was like, oh wait, you guys can see this. Wait a second. I forgot. I remember seeing her. Oh, Zarech mentioned it, I see. I was like, who is this angel? I pointed it out. Oh, that's Vivi. Awesome. Okay. Vivi just chilling? Yeah. The spider would wake up. Oh. And then this is the ORT picture. Wow. Okay. He looks kind of... Okay, he looks kind of spidery. I can see it. I can see it. Or they look kind of spidery. And then we already... Yeah, we already read about it, but... Okay, and then the other picture is this one. Sick. Yeah, I did, Luna. So you said mana is running out in Miiverse and being replaced by a toxic particle. Interesting. That's insane how much lore there is about this. I mean, I'm pretty sure like none of this lore is like needed, right? It's just extra stuff that you can connect to the main story. I'm pretty sure even if you don't know anything about it, like everything's gonna get explained in the actual story as well. But it's cool just that there is a lot of the material from notes is referenced in other works like this and used in other works. That's cool. It's all optional, but it's cool. Yeah, it's cool. It's really, really cool. Sick. Okay, it's been like an hour and a half or hour and 20. I'm gonna get some more tea. I've run out of tea, and then we're gonna finally go into Imaginary Scramble though. So let me leave this on the screen, and then let me get some tea, and then we're gonna go into Imaginary Scramble. Type, yup. Okay. Probably FGO boy. Probably, yes. I'm gonna remember ORT though. I mean, when they mentioned that he fell into South America, I was instantly like, LB7 stuff. Okay, LB7 stuff. Makes sense. Let's. I can close it now. I have it downloaded anyway, so I'm gonna leave that open though. Okay. I remember that one moon cancer at her name now. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know any moon cancers. Okay. Let's turn the volume back up. I remember... Wait, let me bring it down here though, because it was up from the previous stream. I almost accidentally clicked on LB6, but it's fine. Okay. Let's go. You can close out. Yeah, I did do that before. I know. Imaginary Scramble, baby. Main interlude. By the way, wait, what? Let me see what's happening here. The giant spider will awaken. Ah, I see. That's a screenshot. By the way, the entire thing with the main interlude, number of acts and stuff. When can I click that? Because it says number of acts, question mark, question mark, question mark, and then spoiler text, something right after it. So I'm guessing it's similar to like Oku in a way, when it can be as long as you make it. You can now, okay. 6 if you count them together, 18 otherwise. I see. Opening egg, the submarine... Nope, the submerged voyage, deep and far. Ooh! OSD! I don't know what you're talking about, Zina. I'm sure you're not talking about any archetypes or anything. Deeper. Deeper. Yeah? Further. Further. Those are the only thoughts that have occupied my mind up to this point. This is the reverse side of the target world, a completely opaque domain, impossible to observe. It's the deepest and most shallow trap to ever exist. It's both the closest afterworld and the furthest. However, it's not my duty either to invade the target world, nor to commence the war for its observation. No, my duty is merely to call for them, and to remain myself. All good, Kev, all good. Have a good one. The conditions have all been met. Next, I'll shut down my consciousness and transfer all my authority to myself. Goodbye. Bye? I'm adrift. I've been drifting here forever. It's lonely drifting all alone, so... I think I'll call for them. Yes, call out their names. Deeper, deeper, further, further. I'll wait at the unknowable sea within the rainbow dream. I feel like this is probably Van Gogh. I don't want to do Van Gogh's voice though. I feel like that's way too hard.
Senpai! Senpai! You've been standing in the hall, staring into space for a few minutes now. Is everything okay? You have a stomach ache. It's the stress of tomorrow's special mission wreaking havoc on your insides.
I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
Are you sure? Well, that's a relief. since he has Captain Nemo's spirit origin in India, he can keep his noble phantasm, Nautilus, the ultimate submarine, in reality indefinitely.
Yep.
And a good thing too, since the ship can cross an ancient sea of gods will be absolutely crucial for the Atlantic Lost Belt mission we'll be undertaking next.
Yes, correct.
However, while we do need to put Captain's ship through its paces to make sure it's all ready for the upcoming voyage, there's also a lot of other necessary gear and equipment we still have to procure. Since the rest of Chaldea's staff will be working on that, Captain, you, me, and a few servants will be taking the Nautilus out for a test run by ourselves. But don't relax just because it's a test run. It's going to be an intense training exercise covering many scenarios, including a voice space dive. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if you were feeling nervous about it, especially since we'll be conducting the exercise without many of our usual crew on the bridge.
I'm always up for the boat trip with you, Mesh.
Right, to tell you the truth, I'm excited about it too. The idea of sailing the void space is a little nerve-wracking. But if it means getting to be one of the crew of Captain Nemo's famous Nautilus, I'm more than happy to do so. Oh, speaking of which, have you heard which servants have been selected to go with us yet?
Nope.
I'm told the final decision was to bring Osaka Behime, Skadi, and Xiangyu.
What a team! What a team! The Quick Delight. It's the Quick team. That's gonna be a hell of a team.
Some of them are relatively new additions, so I admit I'm a little concerned about how well they'll be able to work together.
The fact that there's just 3 of them means...
Yes, that's right. Abby did make it in the final round, but Shion ultimately decided she wouldn't be a good fit.
Abby? Of course. Entity of the Outer Realm or whatever.
Trismegistus's second suggestion this time was basically incomprehensible though, so they were difficult to interpret. Still, Da Vinci said the data made it clear that this mission would just be too much for Abby, and she wouldn't be a good fit for the kinds of battles we're likely to face.
So let's bring Skatak Skadi Summer as well. Both of them, you know.
Shion couldn't argue with that, so she agreed to take Abby out the roster, especially since doing so would also help conserve magical energy. It's so bad. Abby was so disappointed when they told her she couldn't go.
I have to bring her some pancakes later on to cheer her up, of course. Since we just finished LB4, yeah, of course.
Anyway, Shion said she was going to pull an all-nighter so she could search all of Trismegistus's 2 for entropy.
Of course.
But if you're ready to call it a day, Senpai, you're more than welcome to turn in.
Do I feel like someone's staring at me? Do I? Gee. Never mind, mystery solved. Aw, what's up, Abby?
Stare.
Having trouble sleeping?
Master, I really am a naughty girl. I understand being taken off the mission, since it sounds like it would just be too much for me. But I still can't help but want to ride that big mail ship with you.
I'll bring you along next time, I promise.
Really? Do you mean it?
Of course.
That's wonderful, but I still won't be able to see you for so long, and I'm really going to miss you.
Oh, right in the feels. She really is anxious. Right in the feels. Oh hey, Tin Master and Abigail. What are you two doing up this late? Oh, Hokusai. Of course. All of the foreigners.
Oi? What are you doing here? Oi? Well, you know how Master's setting off on that big old well tomorrow, right? So I'll paint him a treasure ship for good luck. But I'm sure but I sure didn't think I'd find a fellow foreigner looking so blue. Say, how would you paint it with me?
So I haven't played Hawkside Child. True, I haven't played it yet.
Me? But I couldn't. I'm just a child. And you're famous. Don't you worry about that. Ain't nothing quite like a picture painted by a kiddo.
Play it on your own? Sure.
Besides, collaborations can be a blast too. Now go get your pencils and let's make some art. This sounds like fun. Are you sure? Can I, master? A treasure ship, huh? This would let me make a wonderful good luck charm for you, master. Hey, master. Sorry to ask you this right before your big practice voyage, but do you think you could stay up with us for a while?
Fine with me. Honestly, you did me a big favor. You're really good with kids, ain't you?
Well, that's a load off my shoulders. Hearing you say that, but hey, it's no biggie. Me and Toto-sama are just a big old kids at heart anyway.
Oof, she has a rough dialogue. It's hard to read.
Besides, this foreigner class, we are on a whole another level, right? I mean, we're supposed to be a threat to all humanity, right?
Wait, do the foreigners get explained in the Hokusai trial? Is that it? I think so, right?
So if one of us foreigners is in a bind, best thing we can do is help each other out. Anyway, now that that's settled, let's get going. Oh, and if you get bored, you can always take a gander at the picture scrolls I painted myself.
I definitely want to check those out. Am I late?
Morning, delivery man. Looks like you're right on time. Well, technically, you're late by 0.008 seconds, but I'll be nice and let that slide. Now go on, get on board.
Getting it awfully close, aren't we, delivery man? Did you even make time for breakfast this morning? Really now, any master worth their salt would have arrived at least 10 minutes ahead of schedule. Since that means you've got ways to go before you can call yourself a fully fledged master, remember, you should be graceful and diligent in all matters.
That's all well and good, Gogh, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe I saw you at the dock over an hour before departure. Nearly arriving late may be bad, but is it not also a problem to be too early?
Yeah, you saw me here, Shion. I mean, I was just taking a walk, that's all. Yes, that's it. A little constitutional. It, certainly had nothing to do with any concern I have regarding the successful completion of the Nautilus' test run. Nope. Anyway, listen well, delivery man. The success of this test run will be the clearest indicator of whether we are actually able to infiltrate the Lightning Glass Belt. It is therefore imperative that you not let yourself be distracted by thoughts like, oh boy, this new Nautilus is so much fun to ride, or man, submarines are so cool. And that you maintain your focus at all times to ensure the mission's success. You certainly haven't made it this far by neglecting your responsibilities, correct? Then you must continue in that responsible vein, which includes being punctual until you've made it back safely. That's all. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Thank you for that masterful display of leadership, Gogh. I especially appreciate your knack for brevity. If you could go on any longer, I would have had to remind you that further remarks, inspiring though they may be, would only end up delaying the operation's commencement. But it seems I needn't worry about that today. Haven't I already told you that? I told you I've had enough of your mean-spirited interjections. I may be a devout oligarch, but I'm also a staunch pacifist.
The fact that you're all exchanging such very banter this early in the morning just goes to show that what seasoned veterans you Chaldeans truly are. If you're able to do so...
Words.
If you're able to be so jocular under these circumstances, then it seems clear you do not need any advice from me. Yeah, we haven't known each other all that long, but we still managed to overcome all sorts of hardships together.
Reading do be hard. Yeah, it is.
I see, I see.
I can't wait for Mahoya where I can just listen.
So you have shared good times and hard times alike. I suppose that's what comes from being stuck in the same boat, pun intended. But of course, that's also exactly why this training exercise is necessary. After all, as newcomers, neither Captain nor myself are at the point where we can joke with all of you guys as you are able to with one another. This trial run is an important mission to test the Nautilus's performance and limitations. But its secondary purpose is for Delivermat and Captain to get to know and trust each other better. It's my hope that they will end up with just as strong a relationship as all of you, if not more so.
Well, if nothing else, I can tell you there are at least one idiot among our crew who already trusts Captain more than the rest of us. At any rate, Captain may be reticent, cold, and more likely to oil his gun than join in a conversation. But given that he and the Livermet will be working together to test the Nautilus's top speed and cornering capabilities, they simply won't be able to avoid becoming better friends. Trust me, I went through the same thing with my navigator back in the Safari rally. That's cool, man. He did end up cancelling on me at the last minute, though. I never did find out why.
Well, it seems to me like Delivermat is already pretty fond of Captain, so I'm sure this training exercise will go great.
I'm sure there's gonna be no hiccups whatsoever.
Oh? Then you do not find him off-putting, Delivermat? I guess you really are a seasoned veteran master. I must say, I'm a little jealous. Let's not forget, Captain is still my servant.
Oh, I'm surprised to hear you of all people admit to jealousy, Miss Shion. I do hope the all-nighter you pulled wasn't too arduous.
Oh no, I do not mind working all night. I'm just a little concerned about the choice of servant companions.
Why? It's a quick team. It's great.
I simply cannot figure out why Chismagista decided they were the best fit for this mission.
Just to be sure, are you quite certain we can trust this machine's analysis?
Oh, I'm not worried about that. I do not have to worry. I do not have to understand the equation to have faith in the results. Besides, if you were to have Chismagistus 2 write up its reasoning in a report...
Quick has not been dead. You have not seen the insane looping from my Ushi in the event where she does a billion extra damage. And she almost return loops. If you use like the correct Mystic Code as well. And if you use Magical Girl of Sapphire.
It will take us over half a year simply to decipher it. So now, my concerns are not about just Magistus 2, but about the environment in which such servants will be necessary. For example, what sort of environment would lead to Abigail Williams being a recommended addition to the crew?
Well, I have a sneaking suspicion it might be related to Van Gogh and the foreigners.
Was removing her from the roster ultimately the correct choice? Those are the sort of things I am worried about. I see your point, but since we can only afford to have 3 servants come along, including her really wasn't an option. Anyway, we should probably start getting ready for the next operation. It'll be a little while until we're done, so spend this time as you see fit. Alright, I think I said everything I wanted to say for now. You're lucky we only have so much time until launch.
Let's go. That might be the harshest scolding I've ever had in my life.
I understand that, as a master, caring for the younger servants is an important part of your duties. But it's no excuse for tardiness. In the mission we're about to undertake, punctuality is of the utmost importance. There's no way to save a sailor who missed the boat after all. So while you're on my ship, make damn sure you're on time for everything from now on. Is that clear?
Aye, aye, oh, Captain, my Captain.
My captain. Never mind. Just get to your post, acting commander.
Man, that's embarrassing.
Consider it a little payback. Okay, Mesh, stop clinging to the liver mat like a remora and get to your post. I'm sorry, Captain. I was just reflecting on my failure to ensure Master got enough rest last night. It won't happen again. How about the other passengers? Are you all ready to set sail?
Crazy that she's just chilling in Chaldea. After LB2.
I am. As I have no authority over the sea, I'm happy to follow this child sea god's instructions. Indeed, I'm looking forward to being treated as just another passenger.
No, I'm not ready. But if Machan wants me here, then I'm going to do my princessy best to be my usual Hiko self, even in a submarine. Are you nervous about this, Xiangyu? No, I'm still operating within standard parameters. I was simply thinking about my beloved and how she trashed about on the floor in attention when her fervent requests to accompany me on this mission were denied. Xiangyu's mind is elsewhere. Rest assured that I'm perfectly able to carry out my primary directive. Master, Captain, I suggest we embark on our voyage without delay.
Excellent. Then let's get going. This is the assault submarine Nautilus. Shion, report your final assessment of the shell's pressure resistance. This is Shion at Novum Chaldea. The hull is in perfect shape, of course. So how are you feeling now, Captain? Would you say my promise to provide a ship worthy of you has been fulfilled? Yeah, it has. Thank you, Shion of Novum Chaldea. Not a single complaint about the ship. It's got the same amount of tension as a white whale's whiskers. Perfectly balanced. And so I believe we're ready to set sail, that's all. Woo! It's good to see you in high spirits, Captain. I'm also very glad that I was able to keep my promise. Alright then, I wish you an excellent maiden voyage. Do not worry about anything here while you're gone. I have your room locked up, tight as a clam. Deliver, Matt. I'm counting on you to take care of Captain for me while you're out in void space. While we'll be unable to provide support this time, we'll be rooting for you to have the experience that is truly out of this world.
I'll do my best.
Open the vents. Command standard dive.
It does. It takes place before LB5, but it was released after LB5. That's why we're playing it after it. We're doing release order. Okay. Can I use my own Xiangyu? No. Or my own Skadi? No. Bruh. So what's this? Bruh. Sure. How much is her thingy? Let's see. Battery. Right. Oh, great. I have a sneaking suspicion that this is gonna be a big portion of this event. He's gonna be playing with a preset theme of these three. I love my Xiangyu, but this is not my Xiangyu. This is very much a nerfed Xiangyu. Bruh. We have boss fights. Surely in the boss fights I can use my own servants. Isn't her... It's level 8, isn't it? That's so fucking bad. Bro, I don't have a single Xiangyu card here. That's fine.
Hi.
力を持って山を抜き気迫を持って世を追う
Event farming? I've been enjoying event farming because I can 3-turn every... So far I've been able to 3-turn every node, as long as it's not forced to use Yamato or whatever it is. If I can use my Ushi, I can 3-turn it, and I can 3-turn all of them. Well, farming. I mean farming, just clearing the nodes once, or spending AP on the nodes current ones. That's one quick focus party. That's what I said. That's what I said.
Damn, no wonder Xiangyu used to be the hegemon king of Western Chu, and with me and the goddess backing up his OPMP, I don't think anyone can touch him. Between the goddesses buffing him and her powerful rune magecraft, and me filling in the gaps, I'd say we've got a killer team comp.
I'll be honest, Osakawa Hime, you might be the weakling on the party. The weakling.
I'm not so sure. Such a diverse makeup can easily lead to one becoming the proverbial jack of all trades, master of none. Is there anything you can do to improve your noble phantasm's turnover rate, Osakabe? As a berserker, Xiangyu requires precision support to keep fighting at his peak, so I expect you will need to vary your approach in battle until you find what works. Ouch! Direct and accurate constructive criticism. Okay, I'll do my best.
Gambest as in Gambare?
So, Lord Xiangyu, how'd you like my MP? If you like, I would be more than happy to let you and your beloved tour Himeji Castle sometime.
Thanks, Robert. If we have reached the end of our training exercise, I would like to request a 10-minute break. Go for it, Xiangyu.
Perhaps he did not care for you calling him Hegemon King, Osakabe Hime. Also, your castle's defenses and Yu's noble phantasm are a poor match. Really, they do not fit together at all. No! My plan is to integrate myself with him.
Ingratiate? Betty? There's something wrong about Xiangyu. It wasn't you, Betty. Xiangyu doesn't seem like himself.
You think so? Truth be told, I still have trouble making sense of the expressions of Metal Man. Well, if you say so, Machan, you're probably right. While Xiangyu is clearly a cut above most berserkers, I nonetheless cannot tell what he truly thinks, as I never encountered his like in Scandinavia. I'll therefore be relying on your judgment even more than usual, Delivery Matt. Anyway, I guess we might as well take a break too. Plus, when we're done, it'll be the perfect time for an incident.
He may talk with neat lingo, I see. Good point.
Great job, Master. I saw the whole simulation from here in the cockpit, and everyone's teamwork was impeccable.
Now just relax and wait.
Right, this next phase will require even more caution than usual. We're going to simulate encountering an unexpected hostile marine force during a shallow water dive, and practice making an emergency dive to void space to evade it. What's more, we'll be doing so entirely on our own. At this point, everyone back at the Wandering Sea Chaldea base was still able to observe us, but once we make the dive into void space, we'll be completely cut off from them. It's a little nerve-wracking, but I know we'll do our best to handle anything that comes our way. On that note, I think I'll go over the navigation manual again, just to be sure. Please go ahead and relax, Senpai.
You know, I think I'll take a breather while I can. bustling around. Chang is fiddling with some instruments. And now he's gone. Sure. Bustling around. No, never mind. Now he's bringing in a wooden crate. He just left it there. Okay. Bustling around. Now he's got an inkstone and a brush. What's going on here? Master, I recommend you not interfere. As you can see, even 4 hands are not enough to handle everything that must be done. I'm gonna have to ask what you're doing. Unfortunately, I've neither the time nor the processing power to explain at the moment. Okay, sure. Do what you must. Thank you, Master. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Just like that, he's gone. I wonder what those symbols he wrote on the wall mean. Well, knowing Shang-Yu, I'm sure it has something to do with his prognosticative abilities.
Jesus Christ, this interlude is gonna have some big words, huh?
His actions may seem bizarre now, but in time, we'll find out there were good reasons for them, right?
I think so.
What's wrong with that berserker? The moment I take my eyes off him, he's scurrying around like some kind of oversized spider crab and messing up my ship. If we weren't about to undertake an operation, I'd have him swabbling the deck all day.
I know you're mad, but please let him do what he thinks is best.
I'm sorry. I'm usually much better at keeping my cool than that. Don't worry. I always make sure I know who my passengers are before they board. I understand that Changyu is actually much more intelligent than he looks. I do, but having a berserker walking about doing whatever he pleases is in my delicate shape still really gets on my nerves. And I mean that in a literal sense, since this Nautilus actually is a part of me. Just keep that in mind if you would.
Isn't it time to get going?
So it is. Then let's get this emergency underway. Training alert! Training alert! Silence on the line. Hostile marine forces detected at 090. All sensors detected an A-class combat threat. Commencing emergency zero-cell evasive maneuver. I repeat, commencing emergency zero-cell evasive maneuver. We expect to emerge from void space in 12 hours. Do you need me, Novan Chaldea?
Choose Sparky.
This is Shion at Novan Chaldea, reading you loud and clear. Good luck, Nautilus. Engines mission, Nautilus personnel. Get your emergency stations to prepare for zero cell. All compartments, brace for turbulence. You got it, boss. Explaining Nautilus pressure hole shockwave resistance theory.
Sure.
Removing existence verification for reality space. Time to go floating together.
Let's go. It's so weird not having Da Vinci making those announcements. Oh wait. Oh.
Here we go, Nautilus. Go ahead. Void space dive, zero cell, unfurl.
Well, let's go.
Looks like the zero cell went off without a hitch. I'm especially glad to see Nemo is in good shape. Me too. The fact that you're not there to provide the upward compatible computational services you usually do has made him about 30% more fired up than usual. That's Captain for you. He has his own ways of handling responsibility. How about you? Think you'll be joining the next boarding exercise? No, I have my hands full taking care of this chest of Chismagustus too. That said, once it's all over, I would love to go on a little boating trip. But I would want to go before the bleached earth phenomenon is dissolved.
Okay.
Since I would truly be going where no humans has gone before.
Oh, an adventure with none other than Captain Nemos himself sounds truly delightful. Would you perchance have need of a great detective among your crew, Miss Shion? Whoa! Oh! And this is the thingy. Then. The thingy that we just saw. Okay.
Don't you dare! This is a matter solely between master and servant. Our only place is to send them off with a smile.
It's the Mystic Sword. Where did this foreigner come from? And why does she look just like the one I saw during the strangest Hawaii vacation of my life?
Me? I cancelled a side gig. Personal matter to answer master summons. But now it looks like I won't be needed at all. I plan to drown my sorrows by spending this vacation diving into the sea under the dock.
/ Emperor. It's Space Rongo? Okay. Huh? Why aren't you resident geniuses saying anything? Don't tell me I'm the one who has to point out the ridiculousness of this so-called plan.
Well, Miss XX is something of a special case. Let's see, how can I put this?
Yeah, reminiscent of / Emperor, yeah. It's not actually / Emperor, no.
It's like she's her own contextual singularity. Impossible to analyze with anything approaching seriousness. Even attempting to do so just instantly devolves into a farce.
Sure. Agreed on all counts, Commander. Plus, as a foreigner, things like logic and reason have little hold on her.
I see. Now I understand.
No longer care. Okay, sure.
No, but just to be clear, Captain is not subservient to me. He and I are equals. Oh, really? Because I heard you saying you were jealous of the Delivery Man for getting along with him so well. Only in the sense that I wish Captain and I could have a traditional master and servant relationship. To be honest, I did not summon him to form a contract with him so much as to let the phantom spirit of
Nemo materialize. Okay.
As if Captain had decided that the Chaldeans are worth entrusting with the fate of humanity, then I'm not at all surprised that he has also decided to switch teams, so to speak. All that aside, what is it you're doing here anyway? You do know there's no space-time distorting singularity active here, do you not? Come on, Shion, that's not fair. You make it sound like I never show up unless there's a singularity to be solved.
I never seen you show up, period.
No, I'm just here for the same reason I always am, because I sense that it'll be my turn soon. Hey, Shion. Just to make absolutely sure, you are certain there's nothing off about this mission, right?
Yeah.
Well...
What are you so concerned about, Da Vinci? All the conditions for this test run were perfect. Everything from the passenger status verification to the cargo transport went off without a hitch. The Nautilus is in excellent condition, and the Delivery Mat's crew is sailing the void space, a place so dreadfully dull that the very concept of an incident taking place there is utterly unthinkable. Now that technology for navigating it is stable, okay, I dare say there's no safer course in all of creation. In fact, I'll go so far as to say this training exercise is completely safe in every regard.
Yeah, exactly. I could tell as much just from the dashing figure Delivery Mat cut as he headed off on the mission.
Sure.
Trust me, every bone in this space cop's body is telling me this test run's gonna go perfectly.
Oh.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off for some solo diving. Be back by dinner.
While I don't wish to split hairs, especially given how cautious you've all been so thus far, perhaps it wouldn't hurt to try making double extra sure, just in case.
I admit, I do feel like a black cat just crossed my path as I shattered the mirror while walking under a ladder, but...
While I too am loath to say this, I must admit, it would be quite illogical to ignore the quite quite unintentional warning of a heroic spirit who was inscribed into the throne for her intuition alone. She was.
Oops. Sorry about that. Just because the second just finished its analysis. Admit the timing is...
Yep.
And guys, Holmes especially, you may want to sit down for this.
Oh, please enlighten us, Miss Shion. What did our beloved spirit strong calculation engine have to say?
It would seem this is all a dream.
Huh? Okay, interesting. Let me bring out just the list. Okay. Act 3, 6 out of 6, arrow 2. Oh! It's grid-based. Interesting. Of course it is. Unknowable Reef. Okay, Act 1. 1 of 2. Please. Okay? That intro, that jingle goes so hard. Looks like the dive was a success.
Of course it was. I'm not about to let Da Vinci outdo me at stealing my own ship. Now, as promised, it's time to have some fun. Wait, I'll go ahead and switch gears. Today, at 13:30, the Nautilus encountered a hostile force. He proceeded to undertake evasive action in the form of a zero cell, thereby losing contact with Chaldea. Therefore, in accordance with the procedure for a Code 4 incident, the Nautilus is now operating independently. During this time of emergency, Master Delivermat will serve as acting commander. And I, Mesh Kyrielite, will serve as his acting V-Vice...
V-Vice or?
Vice Commander. In accordance with these regulations, we've assumed command of the Nautilus. Any objections, Nemo? This is Nemo. As captain of this vessel, I approve the change of command. You're now officially the commander, Delivermat. That said, the ship's captain always retains sole authority over the ship's operations. If a captain were to order someone to get off their ship, that person would have to obey me, even if they were the admiral of the ship's entire fleet. So I'll certainly respect your orders as much as possible. I'm also going to do everything I can to keep my ship safe. Is that clear? If you issue too many strange or pointless orders, you're going to see me very, very angry.
Already scared enough without your help.
Don't worry, as long as you do your job right, I'll play along as obediently as a coral fish. Now, moving on. This is going to sever my link to the Wandering Sea for a while, just like we planned. That means I'll be going to lose my connection to Shion, effectively making me a rogue servant. I should be able to stick around longer than an average servant thanks to my direct link to the ship's magical reactor, but I'll still be at risk of disappearing if I run out of magical energy. So if something happens to me, it'll be a responsibility to get everyone back to the surface, reality space that is. So since we already agreed on this and everything, I guess we should form a temporary contract.
I can feel the weight of all this responsibility, sure.
That's pretty different than it was with Shion. It almost feels like I've got a fish hook stuck to my gullet, in my gullet. Anyway, this makes us officially master and servant, though only temporarily. Maybe this would be a good time to temporarily properly introduce you to all of us. Then again, you met everyone at the launch ceremony, so we can skip that if you like.
Yeah. Would you like to be introduced to the Nemo series? You can skip this if you read their introductions in the main story. Sure.
Got it. Okay, everyone, get around. This will be a good time to introduce you all to the passengers.
Man, no matter how many times I see them all.
It really is a breathtaking number of people, isn't it, Senpai? Well.
Oh,
No, Walker, understand? Let me introduce you to everyone again. This crew here is the very lifeblood of the Nautilus. I call them the Nemo series.
dun.
Let's start with the Nemo Marines. They steer the ship and man the radar. For this voyage, I've got 12 of them in constant rotation. Hi everyone, hi Master. We're doing our very best, so please don't be mad if we mess up.
Hi, Nemos.
Next, we got Nemo Nurse. She runs the medical bay, and she's an old hand when it comes to treating injuries. Hello, I'm both a nurse and a doctor, and I sincerely hope I won't be needed at all. But if I am, rest assured that my medicine skills are ranked A, so please don't hesitate to come see me should you get hurt.
I feel better already.
Next, they usually have Nemo Baker, but she won't be joining us for this mission, since the boat doesn't have enough space for a full kitchen. But don't worry, Master. To make up for that, she freeze-dried and vacuum-packed some yummy meals in case you get hungry. We also got a nice selection of drinks if you'd care for one. And if any of you adult servants would care for a cocktail, just let me know and I'll make you one.
Oh, hell yeah. Making cocktails sounds like fun. Maybe I'll help you.
Next, we'll have Nemo Professor, the most eccentric of the bunch. Even I don't understand how she can be so laid back all the time, but I've given her as much of my brain power as I can afford to allocate. She'll have numerous important roles to fulfill during this exercise, including research and strategy development.
Yes, so. I'm Nemo Professor. The one who's so laid back and apparently not merit a particularly enthusiastic introduction. You actually heard me on the PA system earlier, so feel free to say hi if you see me around. I don't mind oil elbow rubbing either. I'm manning the computer room too, in this mission, but I'm not as good at steering this ship as Da Vinci, so don't expect me to pull off any crazy maneuvers or anything.
Those glasses look really good on you, sure. What an awkward smile.
And finally, we got a Nemo engineer. She's in charge of the engine room, which is almost literally the beating heart of the ship. She has as many responsibilities on this ship as I do, so you can think of her as a shadow captain of sorts. Be careful about giving any orders that'll stand the ship. They'll make engineer angry, and you wouldn't like her when she's angry.
Sure.
The hell are you talking about, cab bastard? Here, I'll make it real simple. Overloading my ship is evil. Let me give you a word of warning, Temporaries Master. The only way you and your pals are gonna get to enjoy your fancy schmancy boat trip is if the engines run as smooth as butter. Also, it gets crazy hot in the engine room, so don't forget to send down water or some ice cream that won't melt too quickly on the regular.
Sure.
Remember, you pissed me off and the Nautilus is done for.
You're so cool.
I see. Well, yeah, I guess I'm pretty cool. Well, me and engineers in general. Shh. You're kind of a weirdo, aren't you, Temporary Master?
True, the Liver Met's appetite for adventure is a little bigger than I was expecting. Anyway, between the 12 Marines, engineer, professor, nurse, and me, we have 16 crew members altogether. That's the Nemo series lineup, who will be manning the ship for our training exercise today. They're the heart, brains, and blood of the Nautilus, keeping it running smoothly at all hours of the day. The better you can get along with them, the more homey this ship will be.
Don't have to tell me twice.
Oh. Okay, dismissed. All hands, return to your stations.
Hey, Captain. Those sailors aren't familiar on anything like that, right? Familiars. Given how you just talked about them, I'm guessing they're clones? Did you partition your mind and give one partition to each individual personality or something?
Yes, I am.
I can't go into the details too much since I'm using Shion's patented technique, but you're essentially correct. Technically speaking, they're also me. I just divided the work involved in running the ship among them to avoid confusion and ensure that always be enough hands to go around. Of course, they will have their own distinct personalities, since that's the bare minimum required for them to act autonomously. Well, except for the Marines, they're all basically the same personality. You can think of them as one person sharing 12 bodies. I also gave each of the series their own private memory space, so we really are equals in the true sense of the word. The only hierarchy we adhere to is the one required for any chain of command to function. Wowie! I know you're not making a big deal out of it, but man, the Atlas Institute really is Sugoi. Oh my god, I tried something similar with my origami once, but I broke my brain I broke my brain pretty much right away.
So much brain rot.
Anyway, now that the formalities are out of the way, it's time to get to work. Your first job as acting commander will be to see each part of the Nautilus in action for yourself. After that, if you put together a training program for you, they'll brief you on the process of emerging into reality space. Finally, you'll practice undersea warfare in the simulator. I'll be joining you for that part. I know it's a lot to get through, but once you do, there'll be delicious dinner awaiting you.
I'll do my best.
Just what I like to hear. Alright, no time like the present to... Report, what's going on? Yerang, huh? There's an alarm going off. Sorry about that. I was just taking a break since we can't use sound in boat space, so it wasn't me. Maybe the professor did it? Professor?
Nope, it wasn't me either. I'm guessing it might have been the bridge. Maybe you should check the editing console there.
That's weird. The sonar we use in reality space is active.
Hold up. Did you just say sonar as in echolocation? I'm a resident bat expert, so doesn't that mean...
Yep, this alarm is telling us we're about to run aground.
Yeah, I knew it. Come on, Captain. What are you waiting for? Don't we gotta be all evasive starboard or something?
Oh, what's up, what's up? How was notes? Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. Don't worry, there's gonna be a VOD of it. So you can check it out after it, but... It was amazing.
It's okay, Osaka-Hime. We're in void space, remember? There's no ground here.
I've never been able to wrap my head around this meta mage cat stuff, especially when it comes to voids in reality space.
Unlike my Norse mythology's dualistic worldview, other religions tend to think of the early stages of existence as primordial chaos. They saw it as a writhing, seething mess of everything in the world all mixed together: land, water, heat, cold, good, evil, and so on, thereby harboring limitless possibilities. In one sense, void space is similar, in that it too possesses untold possibilities. But unlike primordial chaos, which accomplishes this by mixing everything together at once, I believe void space does so by being unobservable. That is to say, this is the reverse side of the world, a completely opaque domain where not even established laws of physics can be glimpsed. As a result, there's no possibility here that cannot be assumed to exist in some form.
Okay, it's like Schrodinger's reality. Unobservable.
An insightful question. The truth is, we're not actually seeing this rainbow-colored vortex, at least in the true sense of the word. Under normal circumstances, the reality we belong to and the void of this domain cannot interact. While we're able to see this void thanks to the zero cells engineering, it cannot overcome the insurmountable gap that still lies between us. Thus, our senses are only able to experience false impressions of the void, making this rainbow sight no more than a hallucination. As a matter of fact, you and I are not even seeing the same rainbow when we look out that window. Conversely, if there were any beings who called void space home, they would no doubt be unable to observe our world as it truly is either.
You're the Lulu? Damn.
So long as this unsurmountable gap exists, reality space and void space will remain fundamentally incompatible and unable to interact with each other.
Should we be worried about that alarm?
Very well, my pupil. Listen closely. According to the God's explanation, it's impossible for us to see or touch anything that belongs to the unobservable domain. Therefore, it should also be impossible for us to detect any manner of obstacle here, let alone be obstructed by one in any real sense. I believe our captain here already said as much. Yeah, that's right. While there are technically some shockwaves on the mirror world plane of existence that could theoretically be obstructions, we already calculated a way around them. So I'm guessing this alarm is just some kind of glitch caused by the berserker messing with the things he shouldn't.
Surely.
Come to think of it, Shaggy wasn't around for the Nemo series introduction either. I swear, what could he be thinking?
You wish to see me, Captain?
Ah, you're actually here, Shang-Yu.
I apologize for my absence and for the insufficient explanation I'm about to give you. Everyone, cover your ears. Cover your ears even if you wonder what's going on. Yep.
Me? My ears! What's he been up to? What's he up to this time? Are you alright, Senpai?
I can only see their mouths moving, but I'm pretty sure I get the gist.
Huh? Now Shang-Yu is taking the bundle of bamboo he's holding. No wait, it's a brush! And he's drawing something with it at incredible speed, all while continuing to shout at the top of his lungs.
There's nothing more I can do. Here, Master, take this. Oh, okay. As my body will be quite unsuited for this upcoming battle, I opted to take numerous advanced measures to prepare for it. My apologies once again for doing so with neither permission nor explanation. I implore you to hit the brakes and open the box. In the meantime, I'll sleep until I'm needed once again, so that I may better conserve energy. Good luck, Master.
I'm not sure I can recall Shang-Yu ever saying anything like good luck before, Senpai.
I think we should stop the ship. Sure.
Were you not listening earlier, Master? There are no obstacles in void space. None. Everyone of the Nemo series agrees that this is just an equipment malfunction. The only thing we're worried about is you letting the berserker jerk you around.
Thank you, Horseman. Yeah, exactly. Even so, I'd like you to stop the ship.
Alright, but only because you're the commander now. Engine room, full reverse, emergency stop.
Shh! An emergency stop when there ain't a damn thing in the way. Fine, fine. Triton wheel, reverse.
Roger that. It's going to be a little bumpy, so you may all want to hang on to the...
Now what?
Captain, stopping a submarine. Is stopping a submarine usually this violent? No, I don't know how, but we've run aground. Hang in there, everyone. Nemo series, damage report ASAP.
Damage room here. Damn, that impact knocked a few of us out. Damn it, what idiot put a reef in the void space?
Infirmary here. All my equipment is still working fine, so let me know if you have any casualties.
Observation room here. You got a huge crack in the outer shell, and we're taking on what? Rainbows.
But what?
Give it a ring here. Things aren't looking great. Whatever we hit has pierced a hole and lodged itself inside. Also, check under some equipment that got knocked out. Wait, what the? How is the void flooding in here? That shouldn't be possible.
Impossible. General observation of the void is converging. Professor, what's going to happen if we don't do something to stop the flood? Give it to me as simple as you can.
Simply, we'll all be wiped out. Oh, 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 oh.
What's she echoing?
Abandon lower compartments 4 through 6. All hands, out all bulkheads to abandoned compartments wielded shut. Erect an observation disrupting bounded field as soon as you're done.
Whoa, hold on.
I can always clone them again. I might have to deal with some mental damage from the fear and pain they'll experience, but
Oh, damn. Professor, Marine, to the bridge on the double. Oh shit, we're actually using it.
Whoa, I'm saved. Yay, I'm still alive. I might have peed myself a little, but please don't hold it against me.
are you nuts? Just because you can restore them with the Nautilus's magical reactor core, that doesn't mean you should be so quick to use command spells.
It's going to befriend you.
I see. That explains a lot, actually. Thank you, Acting Commander. No, Master.
What was that, Captain?
Why was I drowning in animals of all things? Also, I think I was starting to lose my mind while that was happening. It shouldn't be possible, but the only explanation that makes sense is that void space is somehow observable now.
What do you mean?
Like that goddess lady said earlier, under normal circumstances, there shouldn't be any possible way for us to properly observe the void. If you asked 100 people to describe what they saw, you got 100 different answers, none of which you'd be able to verify in any way. So void entities always maintain their unobservability, making it absolutely impossible for reality and void to interact. At least, that's how it's supposed to be, but
If someone or something changed void space in a way that so that everyone who observed it saw the exact same rainbow vortex, then both reality and void would each be able to observe the other. That would cause those of us from reality in this void to start bugging out.
Bugging out? That makes sense.
Listen, every human sense and ability to process information we developed over thousands of years. That is, our senses in our connection to the world will go haywire.
Do you think you can put it any simpler?
Okay, fine. Either we go completely mad, or the world around us does. More specifically, our perception of the world, or perhaps the world itself, would become twisted beyond recognition. Proving which of the two was being affected would be impossible, but either way, the result is the same: total annihilation.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, void space is basically a space where it's unobservable and all of the... It's basically all outcomes are possible because you can't observe one outcome in it. But if you can observe it, you're observing multiple outcomes at once. Kind of like if you observed Schrodinger's cat, but instead of observing what outcome actually happened in it, you would observe the cat both being alive and dead at the same time, which should be impossible. I think.
Suffice to say, we can no longer look at any light coming in from the outside. We can't afford to touch it. We definitely can't let it flood the ship.
Observing without collapsing its wave function, yeah. Because once you observe something, it should lock in the conclusion of it or whatever. But this doesn't happen here.
As of this point, we can no longer count on void space unobservability to keep us safe. The world outside the pressure hole in our bounded field is now just as deadly and hostile as the deep sea.
I had no idea void space was so scary.
Of course it is. Any kind of completely unobservable domain you can imagine was never going to be anything less than the stuff of an apocalyptic nightmare. But even so, this is supposed to be the safest sea in the world to dive into, if only because I thought we wouldn't have to worry about reefs, the bane of submarine crews everywhere. Well, so much for that. Damn it. I knew we should have at least finished developing the ship's defensive barriers.
Bridge here. We just finished sealing off the bulkheads, and the ship's come to a complete stop. The rest is up to you.
Right. First of all, we need to prepare for a low-speed emergent.
Oh, come on. Nani the hell is it now?
Ugh.
Collapsed in wide-eyed shocked.
No! Scotty collapsed?
No way, are we under attack?
We sure are. Acting Vice Commander. Incoming attack to our portside pressure hull. Bearing 323. The barrage looks to be about as strong as a C-rank Noble Phantasm.
A C-rank Noble Phantasm that puts it in the same league as Mori's, Ningen, Mukotsu, and Kintoki's Golden Spark.
That's bad, I'm guessing.
Of course it's bad. We were okay for a moment, but an attack in void space. What could possibly be attacking us?
Never mind how the thing's supposed to work here.
I know, but we don't have any means of fighting back. When we sealed off the lower decks, we also lost our entire stock of torpedoes. And even if we hadn't, how are we supposed to fire them in void space? We never dreamed combat here was even possible, let alone we'd be forced to engage in it. Master, wait, I just remembered. Didn't Chang also tell you to open the box?
That's it. Open the Schrodinger's box, quickly. Is this Mesh's swimsuit? What?
What's one of my outfits doing in here? Wait, Master, look! There's a note with some familiar looking handwriting inside. Hello, Senpai. You just can't help getting yourself into trouble, can you? Well, lucky for you, you're considered capable Gogh for such an occasion and decided to send you a little secret weapon to help you out of it. Unfortunately, I didn't have to make more than one since your oversized mecha friend Chang Yu sprung the order on me at the 11th hour. Hey, do me a favor and tell him to give me a heads up about these things ahead of time, okay? In the meantime, I really want to be able to deny any involvement in this latest incident, so I'll be off on the far side of the moon, shoring up my alibi. Good luck, yours truly, BB.
It's a gift from the Moon Demon.
Huh? You want me to change you to this swimsuit? Here!
I'm going to use a command spell? What? I'll put up a light curtain for privacy, sure. We have Skadi here. Oh, well. Can't she, like, interfere with spirit origins and stuff? Like Skadi can?
I can't say I'm entirely okay with this, but there, I'm all changed, Master. Although, I still don't see why I...
Mesh? We're just spamming them? Yeah.
The sea. The sea is calling to me.
Well,
Captain, permission to use the ship's airlock. You don't mean...
she's passed out? True.
I do. I don't know what Bibi did to this swimsuit, but I think I can move about in the sea just like any other now. So I'll go out and find out the attacks myself. Don't worry, I'm not a shielder for nothing.
Sure. What? Mesh so... Oh. Surely the combat in this is gonna be good. This is just for the first part here. Invisible hostility. Holy, what the fuck? You all have your... each turn! Okay. Skata can, in the active event, I think she called Skali, had to do it. Nice. He didn't even. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I was gonna say, I thought he was not gonna kill. Sure, kid, Lamau. I shouldn't even I shouldn't have even done this. Crit. It's still enough. Oh, hell yeah. Yep, huge. The non-upgraded Black Barrel. Question mark. Whew, time to face the music, by which I mean an angry mash.
I do have things I'd like to say about my forced winsel change, but I can wait until later. For now, I can at least say this outfit Vivi gave us works extremely well.
I guess we did kind of like just force her to change into a swimsuit with a command spell. That is kind of crazy.
Not only does it let me perceive void space as easily as it can in reality space, it even feels like it's boosting my physical capabilities.
Black Battle wasn't revealed yet, yeah.
That said, I still wasn't able to get a visual on the enemies attacking us. All I could do was flail around at random and use my noble phantasm.
That's way better than nothing. I don't even want to think about what might have happened if you hadn't had that.
Then, Shangyu and our ally from the moon must have foreseen this predicament in a far greater detail than we imagined.
It's okay to take a bit longer to rest if you need.
Very well. I think I'll rest a bit longer then. Worry not. I'm still listening. Yes.
I really like Skadi. She's cool.
Shangyu seems like he would know what's going on, but he shut himself inside his room and isn't responding to any of our questions. The only thing he said before entering sleep mode was that he was doing so to conserve energy. Yeah, seems like he was right about everything. The sections we abandoned contained our computers, navigational equipment, torpedoes, food, and most of our magical energy resources. With all of them gone, the Nautilus will only be operational for about 150 more hours. Shangyu must have known that maintaining servants' materializations constantly consumes small amounts of magical energy, and taking what measures he could to make up for that.
I wish he'd given us a hint about what was going to happen. He's just awkward.
He must have been so focused on his calculations that he couldn't spare the time. Anyway, the fact remains that if it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't be here right now. I can't believe I ever doubted you, General Shangyu.
You made a complete 180 on him.
When you realize you've been wrong, you admit it as soon as possible. That's a law of life at sea. Now, not that it's going to make up for my idiocy now.
Come on, Nemo series, cheer up.
If you're still that optimistic about our situation, acting commander, maybe I need to revisit you. Yeah, maybe I need to revisit you how bad things are right now.
Wait. I need to revisit just how bad things are right now. Okay.
Our ship has run aground on a void reef, ridiculous as that sounds, and now we're stranded. We can still move, but only just. What's more, we can only use our legs, so to speak, since our sonar and torpedoes are gone. To keep the body mild for going, we lost our eyes, our ears, and our arms. And though suppose we can at least blindly stumble about. And that wasn't bad enough. We've also been attacked by a mysterious enemy with attacks as strong as mid-range noble phantasms. So now, we need to evade this enemy and the reef without nearly enough in the way of food or fuel. We're left with two rather unappealing options: wait here to die, or run around blindly until we die. So forgive me if we're not exactly bursting with enthusiasm.
It's going to be fine. You know, LB5 happens.
Captain, the acting commander is fully aware that our current situation is dire. But we found ourselves in seemingly hopeless situations before, and we always managed to pull through. We didn't do so alone. We wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for Chaldea's staff, the heroic spirits, and the people we met on our travels.
The friends we made along the way.
Even here, we've always received help from the moon despite being cut off from Chaldea. So remember, we're not the only ones here. There's also you, the name here is Osaka Hime, Skataskadi. Suffice to say, we're far from alone.
Yeah. I know it's kind of freaking out earlier, but with things this yeah bad, I'm ready to do my part.
On which note, I suppose I can no longer simply lie down on the job. It's time I got serious. You're right. I shouldn't have been so quick to succumb to fatalism. Alright then, Mesh and Delivery Mat, let's look for the silver lining in these dark clouds. Well, first off, there's this bamboo scroll Shang Yu left for us. I think this is what people in ancient China used to take notes.
Unfurl it.
At any rate, it contains an incredibly detailed diagram of sorts. It looks like a navigational chart.
Say, I just had a thought. Maybe that super loud yelling was actually him doing some kind of echolocation scan. Let me see that. If you're right about what this is, it looks like there's a pretty intricate oceanic change here. In fact, it kind of looks like a maze.
The chart even shows our current location, the route we should take, and a mark indicating that what appears to be our destination. Maybe this could help us escape. As if he hadn't already helped us enough. Then again, I suppose we should expect no less from him. Still, this only makes the loss of our sonar and torpedoes all the more painful. It would be one thing if they were still repairable, but with them gone completely, well... Unfortunately, we also don't have any of the engineering know-how or facilities we would need to make new advanced electric and spiritual equipment from the machinery we still have on hand. So, Acting Commander, what do you think we should do next?
Either locally. Oh, summoning. Yes. Yes, we need new servants.
I see. Normally, I'd be pretty dubious about the prospect of finding anyone in void space, let alone someone who could help us. But since we already run into reefs and enemies here, it seems clear that the usual rules no longer apply. As to the summoning option, we need to be very careful if we take that route. Like I said before, it costs energy just to keep a servant materialized. Honestly, keeping too many servants around would be extremely risky, even if the ship were in perfect condition. Not to mention, there might be circumstances where we need to shut out magical reactors. But we also can't deny that having someone here help us make new versions of the lost equipment would improve our situation dramatically. It's also the only strategy we can actually pursue, given the current circumstances, so that alone may make it worth trying.
I just ran the numbers. With Chang Yu sleeping, we should have enough energy to keep another servant around, no problem.
I guess it settles it then. In that case, Delivery Mat, I have something important to tell you, and a suggestion to make. Remember, we're not in a lost belt or singularity. Void space or not, we're still in a wandering sea, which means we're still on Chaldea's base premises.
Oh, I want to summon I want to summon Skadi's ruler for a double Skadi's Changyu.
You only make us suffer some significant damage. We still have magical reactors and a servant handling computer duties. That makes this ship this ship something of a Chaldea branch office, which means you can use the spirit origin graph for this summon.
I can call on either a Chaldean servant or one I've formed a connection with before. She wasn't out yet? That's fine. She's in my friend list, so...
That's right, which means we can summon a servant we know we can trust and who has the skills we need. Performing an additional summon during a Nautilus voyage would normally be unthinkable, but in this case, I think it's an acceptable risk. That's also why we need to be extremely careful about who to choose to summon. So my suggestion is to let Professor make that choice.
That's how it works, yes.
My suggestion is definitely activating the personnel's selection routine Shion implanted in my mind to arrive at the best possible choice. The upside of this approach is that it let us almost completely eliminate any risk of making a mistake in choosing the wrong servant. The downside is, well, we've never run this protocol before, so I'm more than a little nervous.
It's gonna be one of the foreigners.
I mean, also, Shion's route is also known to make some incomprehensible personnel choices before, as I'm sure you've seen for yourself, Master.
Like Abby.
Right. Still, as General Changyu's exploits are proved, there are ultimately good reasons behind these choices, or those choices. So what do you think, Delivery Mate?
Yep, I'm on board.
Alright, I don't see any reason to refuse, so, as Captain, I officially endorse this plan to summon help.
Let's do it.
Right, Senpai. Huh? This sky signal, is that...
Abby? Oh, you.
How? I heard someone summoning and thought I'd try answering it. I'm Yu, a foreigner.
Do I know you? You... What is your name? I do not have any vague memories of her, actually. No. Have I met her before?
If I may, Senpai, I don't believe you know this heroic spirit. Are you a court musician? Does anyone here recognize her? Judging from her clothing and her choice of greeting, she would seem to be a heroic spirit from somewhere in proper human history Asia. But never mind that now. What happened to summoning a Chaldean servant, Professor?
Yeah, this is weird. Give me a sec while I check the logs. It looks like the personnel selection routine ran into an error while I was searching for aptitude and failed to use the spirit origin graph to narrow down the possible summons. That caused the heroic spirit control program to glitch out, so it ended up summoning a heroic spirit from the usual throne instead.
Oh. Oh, wait, what? Oh, okay.
I suppose that just empathizes how important it is to test things like this ahead of time. Lesson learned.
We had a summoning incident?
Damn it, I only hope. Down the drain. No, not yet. I refuse to give up just yet.
She was New Year's.
You must be an accomplished heroic spirit, right? Would you please tell us your true name and special skills?
Guifan. Was it? I think that's it, right?
You guys do seem like you're in a pretty tight spot, but my true name? Right off the bat? I don't know. Usa, I can totally tell.
So what?
There's genuine nobility and elegance shining through, even as she tends to hide behind her friendly demeanor. I'll call it PDF.
Don't call her that.
Princess Dominion Force, for short. As a point of comparison, I have a PDF level of 2, and hers must be at least 336,000.
Oh crap, Barry's broken.
Even if Chaldea which is its own kind of jigoku, thanks to all the high PDF princesses running around there. The only other one with a PDF level in the 6 digits is Lady Cleopatra. Oh my god. This is... Ooh. Ooh. So this beautiful lady from China with enough PDF to rank one of the greatest empresses of all time can only be... Oh, yes, I guess you're right. Which name is Yang Yuhuan, though I usually go by my nickname, Yu.
Wait, what?
Historically, I guess I'm probably better known as Yang Guifei.
That's it. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Oh gosh, it's so embarrassing. Nice to meet you all, I guess.
I did not dream this. This was... You're a bit schizo.
I recognize that name. Yang Guifei was known far and wide as a peerless beauty during China's Tang Dynasty, when she became Emperor Xuanzong's queen consort, or Xuanzong. It said that she set 100 men's hearts aflame with a single smile, and she was also highly proficient in numerous fine arts. Is that why she has a musical instrument with her? Anyway, that's Yang Guifei in a nutshell. She's a beauty so stunning she influenced all of China, a true woman of the people. No, please, no more. I'm nothing like that, really. I'm just a commoner. The same nondescript, lychee-loving village girl you'd find anywhere. And she's unbelievably humble too, Master. Unbelievably humble. I can't believe we'd be a little nervous around her.
She's married to the grandson of Wu. Oh.
Still, as acting vice commander of the ship, it's imperative that I ask questions that need answers. Yang Guifei, do you know why you materialized as a foreigner? Foreigners are exceedingly rare, even among the extra classes. And there's still a lot we don't know about them.
Yeah, I don't basically know anything about foreigners.
All we can say based on our experience is that foreigners can turn the very laws of this world on their head. Fortunately, Abby and Hokusai know what they are, and have kindly agreed to both keep themselves in check and help us with our mission. But what about you, Yang Guifei? Do you understand that you're a highly unusual kind of being? Are you able and willing to keep your spirit origin under control? And most importantly, are you willing to help Master deliver Matt and us during these unexpectedly dire circumstances? I'm happy to say my answer to all your questions is shh. That is, yes. Allow me to explain. First, I'm very aware that the hero spirit summoning system is meant, first and foremost, to keep humanity safe. Next, my spirit origin, I appreciate you dancing around that mesh, but the very fact is, historically, I'm a femme fatale, so dangerous I could bring an entire nation to ruin, right? I can deny there are some historians out there with that opinion, yes. It's fine, I don't love it, but it is what it is. Anyway, thanks to that. I do think I've been given the authority to wreak widespread havoc and destruction.
Oh. She was historically described as thick. Nice. Plump Juan, slender Yan. Crazy.
Still, at least in this spirit origin, I feel terrible that I ended up indirectly sparking a rebellion and would never go around hurting people like some sort of avenger. Also, since my beloved Emperor would obviously never want anything bad to happen to humanity, I'm not about to let some stranger Gogh get away with destroying them. So yes, you, swear to make use of all the power at my command to help you, Master. You could even use a command spell on me to make sure I do just that, if you like.
I believe you. By the way, I'm Delivered Man. I trust you. My name is Delivered Man.
Delivermat. Great. Nice to meet you, Delivermat. Now, would it be okay if I got to work right away?
Sure. What's this about?
I'm guessing it's because many people thought I was a great performer, but for whatever reason, I have really, really good hearing. You do? Then does that mean you can even hear what's happening outside the ship? Sure. In fact, ever since I got here, I've been hearing someone outside pounding on the ship and saying there are enemies coming. Someone outside the ship, in void space.
This could be perfect.
Captain, permission to exit the ship again. I'll go rescue whoever it is that's outside. Permission denied. I can't let you go out there alone. You know, there might be enemies nearby. If it's just me, I can move about like normal in void space too, but... No, I can't. It wouldn't be safe for me to leave the ship when we still don't know what's going on. Not worry. That should not be a problem anymore. Huh? Yeah.
Oh, holy. Okay.
Yeah, what the heck kind of kinky stuff is happening here?
Hello? This is... Huh. Okay. Okay. Summer Skata?
There. I just wanted my other self. I'll explain later. For the time being, now we have more personnel who can move about in void space.
This is Skata, right? This isn't Skata Skadi. Yeah.
We should have no issue defeating these enemies and securing this mysterious being outside the ship.
Don't worry about it, sure.
What's this outfit? I cannot understand why my other self would ever choose to dress this way. There you have it, Captain Nemo. What about the three-person team? I guess that could work. Alright, Acting Commander. It's your call. I'll go along with whatever you decide.
Are you sure it'll be okay, Mash? You said you couldn't see the enemy, right?
I see. So you're going to be fighting close quarters battles in void space, yes? In that case, if I tweak this and change that... There we go. I think I can do something to help. What kind of something? Since this space's true nature looks to be something akin to the pitch dark depths of the sea, lit by false light, I'll use the flame illusion I give off to imbue these enemies with an appropriate visual concept, thereby making them visible-ish. Basically, I'll determine the enemy's position, size, and class through the sound they make, then project a nice visual on top.
Nice.
That should let you fight them without getting confused. It looks like young Guifei both has a handle on her current situation, and she's best equipped to do something about it. I'll admit, I was worried about this summoning at first, but it looks like we really did get the heroic spirit we needed.
Perfect. Let's go. Sure. What do you do again, Yuyo? One of two. Bruh, question mark. That's not you. Wait, Yu is not even here. Oh. It's Kata Skadi that's here. Unable to use Noble Phantasm. Price of shame. Great. Ugh, and now I have Summer Usakabe Hime. Great. Does she even have any form of battery? Or does she only inflict battery onto others? I think she only inflicts battery onto others, okay. Great. The yapping is unbelievable. It is pretty insane. It's fine. Bro, I wish at least let me use my own like mash and stuff. I don't get why I can't use my own units. Oh wait, this, oh my god, it's this Kataskadi. I can't even buff up. Oh my god. Oh, this is so bad. Either support or your own unit gimmick, great. Okay. No, Sparky, I'm wrapping it up as soon as well. Probably after this, because I'm very tired, so don't worry about it. Have a good one, Sparky. Have a good one. And then does she have any buffs? Maybe this is gonna just like do insane damage. Wait, it's gonna do 0 damage. Fuck. Oh. That's fine. Oh, mash. Yes, this is what we live for. Let's go. Look at the big damage. And boom! 35k, baby. Fortnite's so good. Yup.
There, I can see more void enemies in our vicinity, as well as a vast expanse of land that looks like a seabed. Good, it worked. But I don't rely on this ability of mine too much. I can't visualize enemies I can't hear. Also, the topography you're seeing is a rough projection based on the reverberations I picked up during your battle. I'll refine it once I can use real naval charts as a reference. In the meantime, now that the fight is over, you should save whoever's in trouble out there. Their voice has been getting weaker and weaker. I think they're still hanging on to the port side of the outer hull, but if they let go, well, anyway, try to save them before that happens, Mesh. Maybe if I hold out this cable thing and have them grab onto it.
How is that even happening?
Yeah, some help with this goddess is gonna be. Mesh, you go and look for them while I hold up a rescue team. Understood. There, I see them. Good.
Isn't too nearsighted at all. Lead the way.
Right.
There, I see them. Chiyogami Rescue Squad, you're up. Hakuro Sea Monkeys.
We did it, Master. We rescued them.
Way to go.
Rescue squad, returning to ship. Requesting airlock access. Captain Nemo? Bridge here. Granted. We'll give our new guest a proper welcome. You know, Delivermet, it's strange. This whole situation is utterly ludicrous, but I can't help but be kind of excited. The void sea is beyond deadly, and yet someone still drifting around in it. What sort of person could that be? Could do that? When we managed to rescue the mysterious castaway outside the ship, I could never have imagined in my wildest dreams who they would turn out to be. Thank goodness. I thought I was going to end up disappearing into the void like so much help. Help. That's a funny word.
That's the voice I'm giving her. I'm not doing the crazy voice that she has. I can't do it.
It's really tasty though. Kindness, thoughtfulness. I love people. Oh, right, I'm sorry. I've almost forgot to introduce myself. I'm a foreigner servant. As you can see, my true name is Van Gogh.
You're using her because you're using her as a meat shield that Galahad dipped. Well, I only used her as a meat shield because she was great as a meat shield, you know? Maybe she didn't want to be a meat shield. She shouldn't be that good at being a meat shield. You see? We love to victim blame here. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm getting really tired. I don't know if it's because of the notes readings or what, but I'm getting very tired. So I'm gonna wrap it up in the middle of the section here. And then tomorrow we're gonna be streaming more, of course. Continuing on this with Van Gogh joining us now. Oh. Oh. I know you enjoyed it, Ronaldo. I know you enjoyed it. Yeah, notes were so good though. Notes were so good. The dialogue in notes is so good. I miss that kind of good dialogue from Nasu. We don't really get to see that kind of like really well done dialogue in stuff like FGO much. We've seen it like in Garden of Sinners and stuff like that, and here in Notes. So it's, yeah, it was great to see it again. Yeah, we don't get to see that kind of writing from Nasu much, so that's awesome. It's really well written. We'll get to see a lot in Mahou. That's great. Yeah, because up until this point, I think by far the best thing that Nasu has written that I've seen is Garden of Sinners. So I'm excited for the other things as well. That was 99 Nasu, yeah. It was also awesome how much it was inspired by Evangelion. It was basically just Evangelion and like some Fate aspects put together. That's so cool. Yeah, I know it's multiple writers for FGO. Yeah, of course. He almost entirely given up writing. It was Takeuchi who encouraged him. That's cool. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm excited. I mean, this notes should be... When was Mahou first written? Like the original light novel. Or whatever it was. Or like the original idea of Mahou. Because I'm pretty sure it's like his first, right? Big story. I'm pretty sure. Was it also like... No, it wasn't 80s. It was definitely 90s, I think, at least. The first thing he wrote professionally. Do we have like a date for it, or 96 for the original script. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Wow, that's a long time ago. Yeah, that's a long time ago. That's 30 years ago at this point. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's exciting. That is exciting. He was got it 30 years ago too. Yeah. He thought of Fate while in high school. Oh, that's cool. By the way, is it the Ort or ORT? Is it pronounced? Is it like spelled out like ORT, or is it Ort? Just like one word. The thingy. One word. I think it's a both. Could be either. Okay. I said it's a single word. Ort. Ort. Okay, I'm down. Mahou 1996 in the limited copy shop, printed book, rank, God No Sinners in October 1998 in online publication. That's cool. So they were the first two works. That's so cool. Because yeah, as I said, I think, yeah, Kyoka, or God No Sinners was the best thing that I've seen from him when it comes to writing. So I'm excited to see Mahoya, which came out in at a similar time. I'm so hyped up for Mahoya. And then Tsukihime. Was supposed to be one and done, then launched him. That's cool. That's really cool. In the same year as Ocarina of Time and MGS. Yeah. Anyways. Okay. Let me wrap it up here. Tomorrow we're gonna be streaming, of course. We're gonna be continuing on Imaginary Scramble. I don't know how long it's gonna end up being Imaginary Scramble. I guess we'll find out, right? And then it's Heiankyo, and then it's LB6, and then it's Mahoya. So I don't think there's gonna be any events in between this and the Mahoya event, I'm gonna guess, like any big story events. I think. I don't know though. Because that would disrupt the timing a tiny bit, but I mean there's gonna be Valentine's, but I don't know if that's gonna have a big story event or not. I don't know what the story, if there's like a story for it. OC2, well, I'm guessing that's gonna be, I mean, is that an event? I thought that was like, I don't know, main story or something. Yeah, it's main story, yeah. Valentine's is always short, 8 chapters. Nice. Okay. Don't worry about OC2. Okay, yeah. Okay, so Valentine's is gonna be the only story event in between then. Great. So I'll have original Fate Stay Night by Dean. I'm gonna do that after I play the visual novel. I've decided that I'm gonna watch it after I experience the Fate route in the visual novel, because it's the only route that I still don't know anything about, so I want to go into the visual novel blind before I watch that adaptation of it. Caldia Boys White Day, short event, sure. Sure. White Day is the 14th of March, right? Directly 1 month after Valentine's Day. Yep, okay. Okay. I'll still never forgive you for that. I'm not spoiling the Fate route before, like, by watching the Dean version of it instead of actually playing it in the visual novel. But this year, White Day will be on February. What? Okay, sure. Sure. That's how I get the do-do wheel luck. Anyways, let me wrap it up. Yes, Zeno, because you're baiting. I'm not entertaining you. I'm not entertaining you. You're baiting. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys for joining, and tomorrow, probably the same time as today, we're gonna be starting the stream again. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.